Just getting worse and worse.
But sure they're going to get worse if he calls here because he's drawing completely dead, has no win.
Yeah, he finally lets it go.
So Muckle Pahuja picking up that pot.
Came to this final table as chip leader, lost it for a period of time. He is back on top once again.
So good things happening for Muckle Pahuja. 4 players battle for the Bay 101 Shooting Star here on the World Poker Tour. Stay with us.
Season 12 of the World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where VIP members can win their share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month. ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
The Bay 101 Shooting Star is a great event. I love coming here every year. The fans are awesome.
By day one, you just come in the door and there's like tons of fans like waiting for you. All smiles and big hugs and just like excited.
We got to take pictures with the fans. Some of them even print pictures of us for us to sign, which is so cool. It makes us feel really special and it's awesome.
We do everything for the fans in this industry, so having them appreciate what we do makes us even work harder. It's really good. It's a give and take relationship. We love our fans.
Well, the always popular Royal Flush girls, everyone loves meeting them, and we truly enjoy having them out here as well.
I bet you do.
All right, as you can see, Muckle Pahuja is the chip leader with over 8 million in chips. 4 players battle for this championship. Back to the felt we go. Action on Dylan Wilkerson.
And he's going out. James out as well, so a battle of the blinds here.
And chip leader Muckle picking up a real hand. Pair of 8s.
Going to raise with those, certainly. Makes it $275,000 to go on a snap call here by Sean with the ace high.
Yep, he's from Hawaii. He's only been playing poker for 3 years. Amazing. And the flop is a queen 10-3.
So 2 overcards above the 8s for Muckle. So he checks. Sean checking right behind him, though.
Check, check. 4 spades on the turn.
Well, again, Muckle checks the 2 8s. And again, Sean checks the ace high, just hoping to check down the ace high. Maybe it's good. Now the board pairs 3s. Now Muckle's going to try to get a value bet in here. There's no way my opponent's got a queen or a 10. They'd have been betting by now. And this is going to be a curiosity call, perhaps.
This is one of those curiosity calls.
Reading my mind there.
It says 9 deuce when I have 8s, not ace high.
He does make the call with the ace high. Is not going to like it as Muckle wins the pot with 8s and 3s.
Yeah.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Curiosity killed the Hawaiian, you mean? Loses a nice one. Muckle extends the chip lead.
For the past 2 seasons, the Bay 101 Shooting Star has been a pivotal tournament in determining the WPT Player of the Year. And this time around is no different. At this stage of the game, Muckle Pahuja, Sean Suller and Dylan Wilkerson will all jump to the top of the leaderboard as they are guaranteed at least 1,000 points. But we will have to see who walks away from this tournament with the lead. We'll continue to keep you posted on all of the movement in the Player of the Year race. But for now, let's get back to the action.
All right, back to the game we go. Action on Dylan Wilkerson. Quick fold by him. The wheels have come off of his game.
James is going to raise here with a 7-6 on the button. Muckle goes out. And Sean going to make the call with the queen 10 out of the big blind.
They both give each other smiles as we see the flop. It's a king 10-8.
Well, Sean is going to check 2 10s here. Giving respect to the pre-flop raiser, but James checks right behind him with the gut shot straight draw and hits the straight on the turn.
Oh my.
But then Sean's got to think the 2 10s are the best hand here. And he is going to bet $275,000. That quickly called by James, and a deuce of clubs on the river changes nothing. Sean now going to check the 2 10s.
There is 3 diamonds out there, but you got to feel pretty safe. Your straight's good here, of course.
He's making a healthy bet, man. $750,000.
Yeah, Sean with 10s. In a quagmire here.
He just made a curiosity call the last hand that cost him. He's doing it again, and it's going to cost him again.
Oh, it's straight.
Well, he thought he won the pot, Vince. He didn't see the straight there.
Nice hand.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, put your hat on backwards. Oh, he's saying to himself, it's so much easier in Hawaii. James Carroll in second place with $6.2 million. Sean, 3.7. And as you can see, Dylan bringing up the rear right now with 2.4.
Muckapahuja with $9.1 million.
So he is in a healthy chip position to win his first WPT title. Second final table, also had an 8th place finish. But he is looking for number 1 tonight.
Well, the antes are going up to 20,000. Blind 60 and 120. All right, a couple folds around to Dylan, who looks at just a 9-6 offsuit. But he has chosen to call. He will splash around and speculate, and James Carroll with the King 4 says, let's go.
Yep, he's happy to see a flop as well, and here it comes. Oh, what a flop. 6-4-4. James has flopped 3 4s. Dylan has flopped 6s up. This could spell trouble for him. He's going to check the 6s up. And look at this. No slow playing here by James. He fires right out 160,000 with the 3 4s.
He's got to be delighted. He's getting action. He gets a call by Wilkerson. Turn card. It's another 6.
Just like that, Dylan has the top full house. He now has the best hand. All of a sudden, your 3 4s just shrunk up into oblivion. Dylan wisely checking 6s full, but James even smarter to check 4s full right behind him.
Smells a rat. King on the river.
This gives James 4s full of kings. So in case the outside chance that Dylan had a 4 in his hand, he would be beat now.
Oh, boy. Dylan Wilkerson putting in a nice bet of 300,000.
I just call.
And Carroll wisely says, I just call. He feels it happened to him. He is correct.
He got out for the minimum there, Vince, as it turns out. But still, you're just sick your opponent hit a 2-outer on the turn to knock you out of this pot.
That's pretty gross.
It can get ugly here at the poker table. That's what happened to James Carroll right now. 4 players going after this title here tonight.
Stay tuned for more poker action from San Jose right after this.
This episode of the World Poker Tour is brought to you in part by DraftKings. If you like poker and sports, then you're going to love daily fantasy sports at DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com, enter promo code WPT, and start playing today. We are back here at the Bay 101 Shooting Star. 4 players remain.
Yeah, Vince, we had a tournament record 718 entries here. All put up 7,500 each, except for one guy, Vince.
Oh, yes. Well, Club WPT qualifier, and that was Chuck Ignatowski from Toledo, Ohio, played the tournament, had a shot at the big money, Mike.
Yeah, he won his entry just by being a member of ClubWPT.com. Had a shot at the big bucks. Didn't happen, but he had a great time this week. Got to hang out with the Royal Flush girls, meet the top players in the world. You too could possibly do that. Go to ClubWPT.com today. Sign up. Who knows? You might be able to win a seat out here in the World Poker Tour yourself.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed. Back to the felt we go.
James Carroll in second place. Sean Solar third. And Dylan Wilkerson in fourth at the moment. Muckapahuja still well out in front. Nearly $9 million in chips. And Vince, you just feel like he has just taken over this table.
Dylan Wilkerson from the Bay Area. San Francisco, a local. He's got a nice hand. Ace-Queen. This time he's going to raise to 250. James Carroll out. And now Muckle with a Queen 9.
Muckapahuja has become what we call boss at the poker table. He's been 3-betting. He's the most aggressive. And now that he's got the chip lead, they better duck. Well, here comes the raise right here. The 3-bet to 650,000.
Sean out. And Dylan Wilkerson.
On.
There you go.
Well, that's what I think you have to do in that spot with this chip count.
Yeah.
He pulled the trigger, he moved it in, and he's picking up the pot because of it.
Yep, to the discomfort of Vinny Pahuja. That is Muckle's brother, of course. Right back at him this time. Action on Dylan, a poker professional. He's got a 10-4. He has to fold.
Over and out for him. James is going to raise it up here with an ace-9 on the button.
Yeah, he makes it 250 to go, and now Muckle Has it ace-5. He's getting outraised in chips. Yes.
He is going 3-bet crazy right now, Vince. Every hand, he is re-raising.
And look at this. The Hawaiian has picked up the hula girls, the pair of queens.
Well, it's $685,000 to call.
What a time to get him. And there's another re-raise.
Well, there's the 4-bet to $1.5 million.
Online specialist James has to fold his hand. Muckle says no mas. So the Hawaiian, only been playing poker for 3 years, Sean Suller taking down a good one.
The World Poker Tour on season 12 has been an awesome experience. I started at Legends, my first cash. I just constantly evolved and kind of came to a pinnacle at Bellagio with the 5-diamond run to the final table. I feel like I reached new heights, and I learned a lot playing with the best, and I think it just really improved my game. I feel like spirituality and meditation helps me as far as dealing with the bad beats and the variance, and then getting down, and I kind of developed this thing like in one tournament where I just started collecting all these chips, and I just started stacking them in this cross formation, and it just gave me fuel to not give up and just keep on fighting through the race and doing the best you can with what you got and just reach for the stars.
Well, he is reaching for him tonight. Always dreamed about winning a WPT title. Has got a shot to do it. Let's see if he can.
Used to be an insurance professional. Now, professional poker player, only been playing for a few years. Very impressive. He's going to fold this hand.
Now Dylan's going to raise it up with a 10-9 on the button here.
Yep, has the button, likes his position. James out.
Muckle with the same hand exactly. Going to make the call here.
Yep, he's in the big blind.
Be interesting to see how this plays out. This pot will go to the more aggressive bettor.
Flop is Jack 6-3, helps neither player.
Muckle checks. And Dylan does not make the continuation bet here. Now a queen comes off. Both players with the open-end straight draw. Muckle has checked again. And now Dylan with the straight draw is going to bet this time, $250,000. But look at this, Vince, the power of chips. It's going to be a check raise by Muckle here. They have the same hand.
Wow, he goes to 650, and this is going to apply a lot of pressure back on Dylan.
Well, there's a short stack, Vince. He just can't afford
Can't do it.
to draw to a hand. Has to give it up, kicks himself for betting now. But give credit to Muckle Pahuja, Vince. Just 3-betting like mad right now and winning most of the pots he does. Not necessarily having the best hand either.
My DNA, I'm insanely competitive. Just had a huge double up. That is gonna make it easier for me to get my gloves on and we'll go to war a little bit. I'm the guy on the basketball court that's always on the floor diving for loose balls, and that's how I play poker. The best way to describe the way I play is unpredictable. You never know what you're gonna get.
The most aggressive player at this table is our chip leader, Faraz Jaka.
I learned to play my own ways. My image at the table is an exaggerated character of myself. All the different faces. I got a lot of different personalities. I'm kind of aware of everything I'm doing. Every time you raise, every time you call, you're telling a story. I'm not even consciously doing it anymore. It's just instinct. It's automatic. You have to use your imagination to figure out what I'm doing. And poker is kind of a unique game where it's not always in your control. This isn't an easy game. You do get rattled. You know, the chips are flying, you're up and down, there's emotions all over the place. Self-awareness is a very important ingredient towards success. The most important thing I do is meditate. And now I realize how strong it is, how much it helps my game and every other aspect of life. When I'm at the poker table, I'm more just trying to get in a relaxed state. I always keep my headphones with me, throw them on, put something that's gonna put me back in the zone and help me relax. Sometimes the music helps me get back to me.
Welcome back to the WPT and Bay 101.
4 players going after over $1.2 million here tonight. A WPT poker-made millionaire in our midst. And here we go. Muckle Pahuja with close to $8 million. But action's on Sean Suller. From Honolulu, will fold his hand.
Well, both players have a 10-6. Him and Dylan both fold. Over to James in the small blind. He has the not-so-pretty queen-deuce offsuit. as the chip leader sitting behind him, so he's just going to call here.
And Muckle with the king 5 of hearts.
Well, as aggressive as Muckle has been, almost surprised he didn't raise with that hand, but just content to see a flop this time. And here it comes. Well, Jack 6-3 rainbow, no help for either player. Now James is going to check.
Muckle, I think, is the best player left. He's very solid. He has fantastic results lately, and he's super aggressive.
Well, he is right about that. Muckle going to bet here after his opponent checked. Bets 150,000, but look at this. James just calls with nothing. No hand, no draw. Now the board pairs threes, and all of a sudden, James is going to go into betting mode here with nothing.
Wow, 375 is trying to take the play away from Muckle.
But look at this, a snap call by Muckle here.
Muckle feels it.
Wow, with the king high.
Wouldn't this be amazing? River card is going to be a 4.
Well, even if James had a straight draw of any kind, the worst he would now have would be 4s up.
Well, he's going to bet. He's got queen high. He's going to stick out a big bet, 780.
Well, take your hat off to the guy, Vince. No matter what happens in this hand, he is trying to win this pot. Been very passive so far at this final table, but bold action here. Muckle finally ejects the king 5. James Carroll taking down that pot and earning it, Vince.
Very shrewdly played by the online specialist, James Carroll from Massachusetts. Beautifully playing that hand. All right, on to the next one. Sean this time.
Well, he's under the gun with the queen 10. He's going to raise it up here. Makes it 250,000 to go.
Dylan out, and James Carroll going to just count his winnings for that last steal. Into Muckle. This time he has ace-4 of spades.
Well, we've seen him 3-betting with these kind of hands all night here, but he just got spanked playing a little cute with that last hand with the king 5.
Just going to call it.
Yeah, going to conservative mode here. This hand makes the call.
And the flop is a queen 9-6. Queens for Sean, 4 flush for Muckle.
Well, we can see a lot of fireworks here, Vince.
Muckle checks. 325 been bet by Sean.
Sean has top pair. Muckle with the nut flush draw. This should be the check raise, but it's not. It's the check call with the nut flush draw by an aggressive player.
No spade there as a jack hits. Muckle's going to check.
Well, Sean has the open-end straight draw as well as top pair now. Not slowing down, betting 600,000 here. And so much for the nut flush draw. Muckle just quickly throws it away like it was nothing.
Yep, and there's the Muckle group right there. Sean Suller going to take that one.
Stick around to hear what Tony Dunst has to say about tonight's final table. The raw deal is coming up when the Bay 101 Shooting Star continues.
Why just watch the World Poker Tour on TV when you can get the game for free? Go to clubwpt.com today and see how you can win an entry into a WPT tournament.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour's coverage of the Bay 101 Shooting Star. It's time to dissect some of tonight's play, so let's check in with Tony Dunst as he breaks it down in this edition of The Raw Deal.
Chopped pots are an everyday occurrence in poker, and those hands usually finish with one player looking at the other and saying, "You play that crap?" But every now and then, both players have the same cards and never make it to showdown because someone gets bluffed out. And you never know if it weren't for the hole cams at the table. So how does this happen, you're wondering? Let's break it down. Dylan Wilkerson and Muckle Pahuja are two of the hottest players of Season 12. And in this pot, they square off holding the same hand while wearing the same sunglasses. Dylan raises the button with 10-9 and gets a call from Muckle in the big blind with his own 10-9. Both players miss on the Jack 6-3 flop, though Muckle has the slightly stronger hand with the backdoor flush draw. It's a little surprising to see Dylan check back with 10 high on a fairly uncoordinated board, but I also think there's some good logic to it. Nearly every turn card from 7 through king improves his equity and allows him to call a turn bet from Muckle. Dylan's check on the flop makes his hand appear like something with showdown value more so than a draw, because most draws bet in his position. In the event Dylan turns a draw and misses on the river, a river bluff may look more credible because of his flop check. The turn brings the draw Dylan was looking for, a red queen. Muckle checks again, and Dylan likely believes he'll win the pot with a bet. He places $250,000 in the pot, and Muckle raises his own draw to $650,000. I'm guessing Muckle prefers a check raise instead of a bet because he felt that betting the turn would rarely get a fold, and that by checking, he could either get a free card or check raise a bet and create fold equity. The raise gets the job done, and Dylan correctly folds his hand away because he doesn't have the odds to call for his draw. I doubt Dylan gave the hand much thought after it was finished. After all, both his flop check and turn fold were sensible plays. But he couldn't have known Muckle had the same hand until he saw the replay. So somewhere out there, Dylan is yelling at the TV, "He plays that crap?"
Well, he's more than likely yelling at himself, Vince, for not making the continuation bet on the flop, where he would have most likely won the pot.
All right, 4 players battle for this championship, and the antes are up to 25,000. Blinds 75 and 150. Sean Suller, the Hawaiian, with the baseball jersey on, is going to fold his hand.
Dylan Wilkerson looks at the Jack-4 offsuit, not too attractive, lays it down, so it's a battle of the blinds between James and Muckle.
And James going to raise with his ace-7, next at 375 to go.
Well, pretty standard play that most players would make.
Muckle with a pair of 5s here.
Well, the question is, does Muckle come back over the top with a small pair? Answer is no. He's just going to make the call and look at a flop.
Yeah, he's definitely changing gears, playing more passive now. Early on, with any hand, he'd come over the top, but he's mixing it up beautifully, and here's the flop. It's a king 3-3.
Well, 2 clubs. Here comes the continuation bet by James. 350,000. And Muckle going nowhere with the 2 5s, quickly makes the call. But James doesn't like that. Now a 7 comes off. So he's got to like that a little bit. At least it gives him 7s up. But you're fearful your opponent's got a king or a 3 when they call you on the flop. Now it goes check, check. And now a 9 comes off. So because Muckle checked on the turn, James thinks the 7s are the best hand here. The 7s and 3s. He's going to get a little value bet in of $675,000. And what do you do now with the 2 5s if you're Muckle?
Wow. Is Muckle going to pay him off? He's thinking about it. Pretty nice pot, and he is going to pay him off.
James lays down, the 7's up, going to take down the pot. Muckle kicking himself for not raising before the flop or on the flop.
Yeah, he is completely discouraged.
Well, Vess, with that pot, all 4 of these players have had the lead at one time or another at this final table.
And things are starting to go James Carroll's way. 27 years old, online champion, looking good here in this live tournament game.
The guy started with just $2 million in chips.
Yeah.
Now he's up to over $7.5 million in chips. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with, no doubt about it.
Oh, you got to respect the value bet on the end. Very impressive. He's the chip leader right now, but all 4 of these guys are great players. 3 of them are up for the Player of the Year. This is very exciting. Back to you, Lynn.
Please join us next time for the dramatic conclusion of the Bay 101 Shooting Star. For Mike Sexton, Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, the Royal Flush Girls, Matt Savage, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Lynn Gilmartin. See you next time on the WPT.
I don't understand what this is for. The World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
In San Jose, California, they take their poker seriously, and there's over 1.2 million reasons that this will be a fight to the very end. The dramatic conclusion of the Bay 101 Shooting Star is happening now, tonight on the WPT.
Well, the crowd all standing. He is circling the drain. They are going bare knuckles in the center of the ring.
He needs the extreme miracle.
Hi everyone, and welcome Welcome back to San Jose for the WPT's coverage of the Bay 101 Shooting Star. I'm Lynn Gilmartin. Poker destiny is often determined by the turn of a card, and tonight that destiny comes with a $1.2 million first place prize. Right now I'll turn to Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten to get more analysis on this final table. Gentlemen, with 4 players left, what is your take on these guys?
Well, Lynn, we've seen some great poker at this final table, and I look for an exciting finish. With 4 players left, 3 out of the 4 are in strong contention to win the Season 12 Player of the Year award. But it's the 4th guy that has the chip lead, Vince. James Carroll. He has played phenomenal poker, and if he keeps it up, he'll be the guy to beat tonight.
Well, you're probably right, Mike, but Lynn, let me tell you something. This is the new breed of poker. I mean, this is the Bay 101 Shooting Star where you knock out the bounties. These guys knocked out the bounties. These are great players. This is going to be fun to watch.
Thanks, guys. With the Bay 101 Shooting Star title on the line, the final stage of this competition is sure to be intense. So let's check the chip counts and get back to the game.
Well, there you see James Carroll out in front with 8.6 million. Michael Pahuja in second place with 5.6. These 4 guys playing for over $1.25 million and a WPT title tonight.
Let's do it. $25,000 ante, $75,150. A quick fold by the Hawaiian Sean Suller and Dylan Wilkerson. And now it's the online pro James Carroll. He's made millions online. He's got 8-6, and he's going to raise it up to $400,000.
Well, he's trying to be the boss now with the chip lead, just like Muckle was when he had the chip lead.
Muckle's called with King Jack, and here we go. Flops a Queen 9 deuce, Mike.
Yeah, James is going to check. Muckle with the gut shot draw. Doesn't want to be check raised out of this pot, so he checks right behind him. And the 10 comes right off.
Oh, boy.
Well, James has a gut shot straight draw to a sucker straight and a sucker flush. He is drawing completely dead in this hand.
But he's going to donate $375.
This Muckle has the king high straight and a bigger flush draw.
And Muckle hitting the lottery there. And he's going to raise. Look at those eyes, huh?
Well, he may be looking over him like he's shooting lasers at him, but I don't see him going any farther in this hand at all, under any circumstances.
No, you gotta be disappointed, and just like that, Muckle gonna take that one. There's his brothers, Vinny and Sandeep, rooting Muckle on, and as you can see, winner's gonna take home over $1.2 million.
Well, the first guy out with these 4 left is gonna get over $320,000, so huge payday for all these guys. They are loving it at the Bay 101 this week.
Action on Sean Suller. Only been playing poker for 3 years. Pretty incredible. He's got Queen 9 of clubs. And he's going to make it $300,000 to go.
Now Dylan goes out. James Carroll with the king deuce is going to raise, Vince. $975,000.
He has opened up his game. That's for sure.
He played so conservative early on at this final table. He's taking the chip lead. He's the new man.
Muckle's out. Sean Suller. Hawaiian, a superstitious kind of guy. He's going to fold.
Hard to call a big re-raise with a Queen 9. He's got to go away. James Carroll taking charge right now.
When I first started playing poker, I was drawn to the competitive aspect of it. I always played sports growing up, so I've always liked the satisfaction of winning, and that's why I've chosen this as my job. The past 5 years, I've been nervous when there was 2 to 3 tables left at a big tournament, and lately letting go and not really caring of the final result and just focusing on playing your best poker has really put me in such a better place. Making the final table of the World Poker Tour has been a real long-term goal of mine, and a win here would be the biggest poker accomplishment I could pretty much ever ask for.
Well, it definitely is one to put on your resume. Anytime you win a tournament with over $1 million first place prize, they don't come along that often.
He's on his way, but right now, action on Dylan, former chip leader. This time with ace high, first to play. Looking around, doesn't feel it. He's going to let that one go.
Over to James, he's out as well. Over to Muckle.
9-10, he's taking his time. He's only got to beat Sean now. He's going to go all in with it.
He's just going to try to put pressure on Sean.
Call.
Sean looks down at the 2 deuce and quickly calls.
Yeah, 2 overs. Yeah.
Well, Muckle was just splashing around, thought he could power him out. Not to be. Now we got a race. Here we go. Deuces up against 9-10.
Well, I'm not in favor of a guy calling his money off with 2 deuces. One thing to bet it, another thing to call it, but so far so good for him.
King 7-4, so Sean out in front.
The duck's still quacking. Well, the queen comes off. So now Muckle needs a 9-10 or a jack to win the pot. Anything else, and Sean Suller will double up.
If that big card comes from Muckle, Sean will be out of here. Back to Hawaii. And the last card is a 6.
Well, the ducks are quacking for Sean Suller. He has doubled up.
Deuces.
Well, obviously he's wearing the jersey with 2 2s on it, so it must be lucky for him. That's why he played the deuces. I can't imagine any other reason you would play him, Vince. No hand you're going to be favored over.
So Sean from Hawaii gives Muckle the old Hawaiian punch.
Yeah, baby. Uchi Koala. Worst.
Recognition on the felt isn't just handed out, it's earned. And that's why this Chi-Town native has garnered the respect from the poker world. He's got a big personality to go along with his big play, as we'll see in this edition of Ones to Watch.
We're the ones to watch. Yeah, I'm the guy. If you need something, I got it.
Ladies love money too, you know? Sometimes things go your way.
I'm kind of the life of the party anywhere I go.
WPT.
Yeah, I know Aaron. He's a pretty cool kid.
He's full of energy. He's a character.
Aaron Massey, he's a funny guy, man. Him and his brother are 2 funny characters. They're always drinking, having fun.
He's got style as well. Look at him. Yeah, he's got great style. His hair and all the whole thing.
Style's real important to me. I'm always trying to look fresh. I'm trying to bring something special to the poker room.
I like to just go in a hoodie and shades, sometimes a hat.
The Miami boss is always camera ready, baby.
My brother and I, we should have our own wardrobes, okay? But we share everything, even the shoes.
You could tell like who's a poker player and who's not by the way they're dressed. You know, if you have a book bag, you're definitely a good player.
When you come into the arena, you really need to step up your game. People might think you're a boss. You could just be quiet. You could be an up-and-comer. You know, people won't know who you are, but if they look at you and you're looking sharp, maybe you look confident, maybe they give you a little bit more credit. I grew up in Chicago. My brother basically raised me. There were some family problems. My brother and I were exposed to a lot at a young age. Things kids our age weren't supposed to see. So we learned things real quick. We were the have-nots in a privileged community. Every one of my friends had more than I did. Did what I had to do to make money to pay my rent. After college, I had a job, and I moved right into the city, and I was really proud of the idea of being some top-notch professional with a suit and tie. That job wasn't my passion. So I quit and took a shot at playing poker, but was a losing player for many years. My brother basically was supporting me. I've learned everything from my brother as far as life. My brother has learned everything from me as far as poker. So we're a good team. 2012, I had my first major win, and we left that other life in the dust. My brother and I both play full-time now, exclusively. We're everywhere. We're gonna be everywhere, and I'm just really lucky to be in the position that I am right now, with a chance to thrive in my dream.
Aaron plays pretty good. Got some pretty big results.
He's always deep in something. I follow him on Twitter and stuff.
I'm prepared for this moment. I've been putting in the work. You know, I'm ready to do it.
Really smart kid who obviously found a game that he can do well at and make money, and something that provides that for him.
Poker is my salvation. It's given me a way to be free from the life that I lived before. It's given me a way to get respected, a chance to make something out of myself.
Well, there you see James Carroll still well out in front with $9 million in chips. Sean Suller in second place with $5.8 million.
Yep, and the Andes are now 25, but the blinds are 1 and 200,000. And Sean Suller folds his hand. Dylan now.
On.
He is going to go all in with an A7.
Over to James, looks down to the king 3. He's going to get rid of it.
Call. And now Muckle with a big hand, ace, king of clubs.
Well, has his opponent dominated. Great spot for Muckle here to pick up more chips than he lost in that last pot to Sean. Dylan Wilkerson's tournament life on the line. Knows he has to get very lucky to stay alive.
And here is the flop. It is a 9-9-5.
Good start.
Not the worst. Possible split pot. For you.
Dylan Wilkerson led this tournament for a long period of time, but right now in a lot of trouble. Here comes the turn card, Jack of Diamonds. No help for Dylan.
So it'll be a split pot if a jack or a 5 comes off. Dylan needs a 7 to win the pot.
Muckle with a big chance to knock out his opponent right here, right now. Let's take a look. It's a 7.
It is a 7. Wow. A lightning 7 on the river. Horrible luck for Muckle right there.
But now he's going to be circling the drain right now on the morphine drip.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more from the WPT Bay 101 Shooting Star, including Tony Dunst breaking down some serious hands in the raw deal. Don't go away.
We're back for more WPT coverage
of the Bay 101 Shooting Star.
San Jose is my hometown. It's where I was born, and I really consider Bay 101 my home casino. I'm as much of a fan of this event as the fans are, for sure. If somebody comes up and says, I want to get that player's autographed, that's somebody that we want as a shooting star. A lot of the local players are just happy to win a bounty. I mean, they didn't have to cash in the tournament. But if they knock out one of these superstars of the game and win $2,500, I just think that it's a great experience. It makes me feel good about poker and good about being in the game.
Well, Matt's right. Players do love playing here. They love knocking out the bounties, the big names, the superstars. None of them are left. These are the 4 guys fighting it out for the title.
Great champions play here. Great crowd. And right now, 4 players battle.
Muckle, very short on chips. Doesn't even have 10 times the big blind.
Let's go to the felt. Dylan Wilkerson now with a pair of 8s. He's worked his way back to about $6 million in chips. He's going to raise this to $400,000. James out.
Muckle out as well, but Sean will be going nowhere with the king 10 of hearts in the big blind. He calls the raise, going to see a flop.
Got some more chips now, huh?
Yes, he does.
One way or another.
Yeah. Here come the first 3.
Queen 9-5 flop. Sean with the gut shot straight draw is going to check. Dylan with the best hand at the moment, 2 8s. He's going to bet.
No free cards, betting $350. Sean will stick around and pray.
He's going to make the call.
To 4th Street we go.
A 10 of spade comes off, so Sean now makes 2 10s, has the best hand, but scared of that board.
He checks it. Dylan checking behind him. Down to the river, it's a jack of spades.
Well, both players have made a straight. Sean the high straight, Dylan the low straight, but 4 spades on the board. Doesn't seem to scare Sean. He leads out for $400,000. Now Dylan's saying, what's this guy got? Does he really have a spade? If he doesn't, my straight might be good. Maybe he's just bluffing.
Tough to call this without a spade, though.
Call.
But he is going to make the call.
Straight.
His opponent shows him a king-eye straight and is going to win the pot.
Dylan's got to be confused by that.
Well, there you go.
Oh, look at that's the Hawaiian sign.
It's aloha, aloha, aloha. There we go. There we go. There we go.
A lot of Hawaii in here tonight. They like this guy, Sean Suller. Only been playing poker for a few years. Got on the plane. Saw a shooting star, Mike, before. He said, that's my destiny. I'm going to win this tournament. Now look at this. Muckle Pahusha has gone all in. He's on the short stack with Queen 8. He's been whittled away.
Now Sean's got ace deuce. He is running good.
Yep, he's going to make this call.
He's just going to try to eliminate Muckle right here, right now.
Everybody else out, so they show their hands.
Muckle certainly due for a break after that horrid beat he took a minute ago. Let's see if he can get one here.
I agree.
He said he likes to spend time at home with the wife and the dog. That's where he'll be going if he doesn't get lucky.
Well, there's a dog right now, but here come the first 3 cards. It's a Queen Jack 8. He's flopped 2 pair, and he's well out in front. He's got to like that.
Well, a massive favorite now, about 19-1 to win this pot.
Oh, yeah, the Muckle fans loving it. His brothers going to the turn card. 3 of hearts. That's going to wrap it up. And Muckle needed a little luck.
Well, he got some there as he doubles up to stay alive. His contingent very happy about that.
So 4 players sticking around. James Carroll, the great online professional player, out in front with 9 million. Sean from Hawaii, 6.3.
3 out of these 4 players in strong contention to become the WPT Player of the Year. Whoever wins this tournament, other than James Carroll, will take the lead in the Player of the Year status.
Okay, onto this hand, Sean folding. And now Dylan will raise with a Queen 10.
Yeah, Dylan finished second in the Fallsview tournament in Canada earlier this season. It's his 3rd cash this season.
James mucks the pair of deuces, kind of surprising. But Muckle with an ace-queen, he's pushed all in.
Call.
And Dylan's going to call it.
So Muckle has him dominated again. This time it's ace-queen versus queen 10.
And surely Muckle can't lose another pot where he's got his opponent dominated.
I don't know.
Can he?
One more break, huh? One more break.
The flop.
Ace, king, jack. Dylan Wilkerson has flopped the best hand possible right now.
Well, even Dylan's sort of apologetic. He knows how much he's outdrawn this guy. He took ace-7, he beat ace-king on the river. Now he's taking queen 10.
Spade and everything.
Against ace-queen and outflopped him.
I might get this chop. 10 of diamonds.
8 on the turn. Muckle in a heap of trouble.
I'll tell you, that's like a left and a right from Tyson in his prime right there.
Coming up, Mike. No, 7 of hearts.
Well, that is just horrid luck right there for Muckle Pahuja. Vince, I don't remember seeing anybody take consecutive bad beats with 4 players left like this guy did.
Pretty rough. Muckle going to take home $320,000. He's a great player. He's punchy right now. Over to talk to Matt Savage.
Amazing run this week. Obviously, you're in a very good position for Player of the Year. How motivated are you to win that for this season?
I'm very motivated to win the Player of the Year. I mean, one of these 2 guys, I believe, maybe it'll overtake me or tie me, so now I have my work cut out for me. I'm rooting for James, obviously, but, you know, I'm going to play pretty much every event between now and the championship, hopefully get after it.
Well, obviously, a great week. More money to the bankroll. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
That's horrible. That's,
it is. It's not
like,
even...
you know, when they tell you the stupid bad beat stories, you can't even start to tell that bad beat story. They wouldn't believe it. For the stakes you're playing for, to have it happen then, it's ridiculous.
So with Muckle Pahuja out in 4th place, we still have 3 players taking dead aim at the Bay 101 Shooting Star title. We'll be right back with more on the WPT.
Welcome back to San Jose and the WPT's coverage of the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament. Well, Vince, as you know, there's always exciting action here at the Bay 101, but I must say this place holds a special place in my heart because it's the first place that I made a WPT final table as a player.
That is so true. And I'll tell you something, I was actually watching one of the old tapes, and if you're a member of ClubWPT.com, you can do that. You can look at all the old tapes and study them. And I saw you against Mike the Mouth give you that awful beat. Oh, that must have been.
Don't remind me, Vince. I'm trying to put that out of my mind. But nevertheless, as Vince said, you can access all the old episodes of the World Poker Tour by simply becoming a member of ClubWPT.com. You can also win a share of up to $100,000 in cash and prizes every month, play all the poker you like, and who knows, you might win a live entry into a WPT event. Check it out today. Sign up, ClubWPT.com.
Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed. Let's go back down to the felt.
You see our chip leader, James Carroll, with 7.8 million. Dylan Wilkerson in second with 7.5. Sean Soler in third with 6.1. Vince, they've all got multi-millions. It's anybody's game.
Action on James. He quickly folds, and now Sean Soler with a pair of 6s. Gonna make it 500,000 to go.
1.15.
Now Dylan has re-raised this pot, 3-bet it to 1.1 million. Now if you're Sean, you're saying to yourself, do I really want to go up against this abracadabra man? This guy's a walking luck box. Is that who I really want to try to fade here?
Well, he's made the call. Here we go. 6s versus Queen 8, and the flop is a King Jack Deuce.
Well, Sean's going to check the 2 6s, but I can assure you with the flush draw and just a Queen 8, Dylan is going to be betting.
Yep, 1.2 million.
It's hard to fade that board with just 2 sixes, so Sean gives it up.
Listen, thanks.
So Dylan could be on the magical rush of his life right now.
It looks like it.
I got into poker in college. I really loved the simplicity of the game, but the overall breadth of knowledge that it takes to beat the game. To be WPT champion would be great. I came up just short a couple weeks ago, so to have the chance to do it again and really do it right would be excellent.
Well, just short of saying it right, he came in second in our Fallsview WPT event in Canada. Now he's got a shot to win the title again tonight, so very impressive events to go that deep in 2 tournaments so close together.
Oh boy, what's more impressive is his hand right now. He's got kings. Great time to get him 3-handed into late stretch in a WPT event. There's the raise.
Now that's the men raise because blinds are 1 in 200,000.
James quickly folds. Sean's going to call with just a 7-4.
Loosely calling here with a 7-4, in my opinion, out of position.
And the flop is a 10-8-6 all hearts.
Well, notice Sean has a 2-way straight draw and a flush draw. He's going to lead out and bet. Unfortunately for him, Dylan's got an overpair and a bigger flush draw.
475. And Dylan just calling. Going to the turn. It's a 4, which gives Sean a pair of 4s as well.
And he's going to check now. Just like to draw with this hand for free, but Dylan's not going to have any of that. He's going to make a healthy bet here. 850,000. Sean not happy with that development. If he knew for sure his flush draw was good, he'd probably call here with 2-way straight draw and a pair of 4s, but it's tough to put your money in on a draw.
Time to get real. And he finally does the right thing, folds the hand, and Dylan will take that.
Rabbit hunt that one.
And he wants to rabbit hunt. Take a look at the last card for free, and it's an 8. So yes, Sean, you made
Gotta follow your heart.
a good decision. Not calling.
Huh, heart. No pun intended.
Well, Dylan is definitely all heart at this final table, as we saw earlier in the monster hand of the day. Now, poker, sometimes you need luck on your side, that's for sure. Not too long ago, Dylan needed it in spades.
On.
Call.
Because his tournament life was on the line when he was all in against Muckle Bahuja's dominating hand. But Dylan definitely remained cool.
It's a start. It's not the worst.
And of course, he hit the monster card on the river. That's right, that's how you do it. Kept him in contention to win this WPT title. That's how it happens.
All right, well, there you saw Dylan, who was in last place a little while ago, fight his way back to become the big chip leader now with 9.3 million.
Sean on the short stack. Blinds are 1 in 200. Andy's a 25. James Carroll, first to play here with an ace-10, makes it 400,000. Sean with queen jack makes the quick call.
And not even Dylan can play this hand, I don't think. Throws the 7-deuce away.
Queen jack versus ace-10. And the flop is a king 4-deuce.
Well, no help to either player. And it goes check, check. Well, now a jack comes off. This gives Sean the best hand with 2 jacks. He is going to check. Well, James didn't make the continuation bet on the flop. Now he bets here on the turn with a gut shot straight draw when he's beat.
Sean kind of feels it, makes the call. He's in front. Down to the river we go. And it's a queen. Oh my, look at that card.
Oh my is right, because Sean has made 2 pair, but his opponent has made the nut straight, the ace high straight.
Sean's going to check. And of course, James with the nuts bets 1,375,000. And this, you got to pay this off, that's
look
for
at
sure.
This, Vince. He is going to raise here, it looks like.
Raise.
Oh no. Oh no.
Raise.
Well, you're not going to really get called unless you're beat.
I raise all in.
Oh.
Call.
All in and called.
all in and I'm call.
Sean had a great week, but blanked out just a little on that last hand, I think.
He has the nut straight.
Boom.
Sean Turner with Queen Jack.
And that's going to do it for Sean. So with the Hawaiian Aloha out in the
Shoot. Wow, that was a cooler. That was a cooler.
Cowabunga for Sean, taking home $477,000. He's over to talk to Matt Savage.
Fourth at 5 diamond, third here. We seem to be going in the right direction.
I think so. I think so. We shot for the stars today. Gave it a good run. It was a valiant effort. What could I say?
With Sean Suller out in third place, the battle for the WPT Champions Cup has come down to Dylan Wilkerson and James Carroll. Who will take down the title? Find out when we return with heads-up action from the Bay 101 Shooting Star. Heads-up action is about to get underway here at the Bay 101 Shooting Star between Dylan Wilkerson and James Carroll. Royal Flush girls Jeannie and Ivy are bringing out the money that these guys are playing for, as well as the special edition pair of Monster 24K headphones to be awarded to tonight's champion. What a thrilling moment for these guys, and during the last break, I had a chance to catch up with both players. James, this is your first time to be this close to playing for a WPT title. What are your emotions right now?
I'm feeling great, to be honest. It's been a really tough final table, very long, but hopefully things work out.
What do you think of Dylan as a player?
I think he's very, very good, so this should be a very tough match.
Dylan, this is your second time to be heads up for a WPT title in a matter of months. What's it going to take for you to get the win?
It's going to be tough. James is excellent. He was definitely one of the best players at this table to start, and he's still here, and he has more chips than I do, but only by a little bit.
Now, James has been a bit of a thorn in your side on your left all night. Do you feel like you've got him figured out?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Really?
No, of course not. No, he's too good.
I liked your confidence.
I'm confident. I'm confident for sure, but I mean, you can never completely figure someone out. There, you know, I haven't played heads up with him yet, and he's going to be tough, but I am confident.
The stakes are at an all-time high here at Bay 101, and one of these two players will join the illustrious list of Shooting Star champions. Who will emerge victorious? Well, we'll soon find out. So let's send it back to Mike and Vince for the call of the game.
Here we go. Heads-up battle about to begin.
James Carroll starting out with $12 million in chips. Dylan Wilkerson starting with $9.5 million.
And the antes are $25,000, and the blinds are going up to $125, $250. Let's go. Action on James Carroll. He's from Massachusetts, 27-year-old, online specialist, and he has made it $500,000 to go.
1.35.
Dylan, though, with a pair of tens right behind him.
Dylan, 3 betting here to $1.35 million with 2 tens. And James is going to call him. He's going to see a flop before he gives this up.
Big pot in hand number 1 of the heads-up battle. Here we go.
Oh, a 10 right in the door.
Whoa.
3 tens for Dylan.
James hitting queens, too.
Well, Dylan's going to fire right out, $1.4 million. It's a kind of flop that you think your opponent's got some of it. So why not bet and make him pay?
James Carroll makes this call.
James's problem is he's about drawing dead. He is now as the deuce comes off. No card can win it for him.
2.8.
Dylan pummeling away.
He thinks his opponent could have a flush draw or a straight draw, aces. May give him action here. Now, James picked up his chips, but is going to start thinking better about it. Well, he has a pair of queens with a weak kicker. Virtually all he can beat is a bluff here.
Yep.
And the bluff is not what Dylan has. He's got 3 tens, 30 miles. Flint to Saginaw takes down the pot.
Dylan playing so well this season. Of course, he was second at the Fallsview event for the World Poker Tour. He'd love to take down this title and be a winner. He's the new chip leader. They have just flipped.
Stacks of blacks.
Dylan is a local from San Francisco.
Probably can't even see mine.
No. That's cute.
Well, a great start for Dylan in this heads-up battle. How things change so quickly when you're playing heads-up poker in terms of chip count.
On this hand, James is going to raise with just a 6-3.
Well, he believes in position raising, that's for sure, if he's raising with this hand. Dylan just calls with the ace high, so we're going to have a flop here. The flop is queen 7-4. No help for either player. Does give James a gut shot straight draw.
Dylan's going to check it.
Now here comes the continuation bet, 600,000. Dylan just going to call him with the ace high here. Maybe he thinks ace high is good. In fact, it is. Well, 8 of spade comes off. Now this gives Dylan a 4 flush. He's going to check. And look at this. James is going to fire another shell, Vince. He is not slowing down. He knows to win this hand, he's just got to bluff at it.
Dylan with a nut flush draw.
What is Dylan now? Stretching his neck. See how many chips his opponent has. This is something that's mind-boggling to me. You're playing heads up, you have to know how many chips are in play. Just count your own chips, you'll know how many chips your opponent has. Well, Dylan is going to make the call here for 1.4 million.
River card doesn't get the spade. 8 pairs the board. But believe it or not, Dylan's still in front with the ace high.
Well, he's checked. Now, Vince, a long time ago, Stu Unger told me, a lot of guys will bluff at a pot. Some will fire 2 shells. There's not many that'll fire 3. Well, James Carroll is firing 3 shells. Big time here. 2.9 million.
Gotta have a lot of nerve to do that. Online specialist. 4 title making that kind of bet.
Vince, can you call 3 million with ace high? No. Give James Carroll credit, Vince. He earned that pot. He took down the dough.
We'll be right back for more Season 12 action.
Right here on the WPT.
There are 100,000 reasons to love ClubWPT.com because as a Club WPT VIP, you get the chance to win a share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed. This episode of the World Poker Tour is brought to you in part by DraftKings. If you like poker and sports, then you gotta love daily fantasy sports at DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com, enter promo code WPT, and start playing today.
There is a lot on the line tonight, and now that we've reached Heads Up Play, it's time to update you on the WPT Player of the Year standings. With his 4th place finish, Mukul Pahuja has taken the lead with 2,250 points. And 3rd place finisher, Sean Seller, is on his heels, just 100 points behind.
Boom.
Now, Dylan Wilkerson can tie Mukul at the top of the leaderboard if he emerges victorious here at Bay 101. We will continue to track the standings as we enter the final stretch of the season, but in the meantime, let's get back to the game with Mike and Vince.
Thank you, Lynn. We started out with 718 players. We are down to these 2 guys.
And Vince, I am still in awe of that 3-barrel bluff by James just a moment ago. It virtually puts these guys in a chip tie at the moment. Action going to be on Dylan. Looks down at the king deuce of spade, going to raise it. Makes it 500,000 to go.
James makes a call. James beats him in the pot.
So fast you couldn't even show your cards.
Quick call by James with queen 9. So here we go.
Oh, and James has flopped a queen. The top pair, he checks. Dylan reaching for chips. Going to make the continuation bet here. 450,000.
Yeah, you bet before the flop. Bets after the flop.
Yeah, those are raisin chips, folks, that he's getting out. Let's see how much. Looks like 1,350,000. And there it is, the check raise.
Yeah, James Carroll speeding things up, and Dylan's got to lay it down. And there's James's gang, family, friends.
Yeah, James grew up in Massachusetts. Now lives in Henderson, Nevada. Dylan Wilkerson from San Mateo, California. Went to Berkeley. Majored in economics and political science. Now he's a poker pro, trying to take down a WPT title after finishing 2nd earlier in the WPT event this season.
Well, look at this. James again has raised Dylan with a quick call with king 3. And the battle continues. Flops a queen 9-5.
Wow, back-to-back hands. Dylan had the best hand pre-flop and got out-flopped by James.
Dylan's coming out with a bet with just king high.
Probably not going to work.
Oh.
James has flopped top pair and just going to raise it.
1.6 total.
And Dylan's not going to be able to stand this heat either.
No, he looks so disgusted. What are you going to do?
You're just saying to yourself, does this guy hit every flop? It seems like it.
There's the happy railbirds that are rooting for James as two players battle for this championship at the Bay 101.
Stick around to hear what Tony Dunst has to say about tonight's final table. The raw deal is coming up when the Bay 101 Shooting Star continues.
Too bad. Only one winner.
Yeah, that's true.
120. Thanks. Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Season 12 of the World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where VIP members can win their share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month. ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
We all make mistakes sometimes, and poker players are no exception to the rule. With that said, it's time to check in with Tony Dunst as he analyzes the final table action in this edition of the Raw Deal.
Whenever you run a bluff that involves betting on multiple streets, always keep in mind which cards help and hurt the hand you're trying to represent. That means hoping to see the cards that complete draws that are plausible, while avoiding cards that don't change the texture. Cards that pair the board are the worst in this situation because it's unlikely to complete any of the draws. So when should you keep firing when the board pairs? Let's break it down. James Carroll is a young man with a calm demeanor and an aggressive reputation. It's no surprise to see him open 6-3 on the button, and when he flops a gut shot straight draw against Dylan Wilkerson, James naturally follows through with a bet. Dylan has ace high with a backdoor straight draw and backdoor nut flush draw, which is enough to continue with heads up. The turn brings an 8 of spades, one of the better cards in the deck for Dylan. But James isn't done trying to win this pot, and when Dylan checks, James bets 1.4 million. Although James has a very weak holding, the 8 is a great card to bluff because it completes both the flush draw and 5-6 straight draw on the flop. Of course, Dylan can't fold on a turn that gives him so much equity, and he knows it's still possible he has the best hand. When the river brings the 8 of clubs, both players miss their draws. Dylan checks, and James brings out a pile of chips for a bet of 2.9 million. Although the river didn't help his actual hand, it also doesn't alter the fact that every strong hand he was representing on the turn would still bet on the river. Plus, James knows his 6-high can never win at showdown, and that Dylan can have drawing hands that will never call a bet, which is exactly what he happens to have here. So when faced with the river bet, Dylan doesn't spend much time thinking and throws his ace-high away. So remember, firing when the board pairs isn't always a bad idea, especially when the hands you're representing would still bet as well. James Carroll clearly understands this concept. But if he keeps doing it on TV, he'll never lose that aggressive reputation.
Well, in my view, he has earned this chip lead of 15 million to 6 million by making that 3-barrel bluff and continuing to stay aggressive in every pot. The question is, can he close the deal? Let's see.
This time, action on Dylan. He's got ace high, ace 5. Min raise makes it 500,000 to go.
Yeah, the guy wins the pot with 6 threes. Why not play the 6 fours?
Right, splash around, and good luck. Here we are. It's a 4, 9-4 deuce, so James out-flopping Dylan again. He checks.
Well, Dylan going to make the continuation bet. He does have the wheel draw, the gut shot straight draw.
It's a $500,000 bet.
It looks like another check raise by James Carroll, and that's exactly what it is. And Dylan's got to be saying to himself, you got to be kidding me. This guy can't hit every single flop. Every time I bet the flop, he raises me.
Dylan is making this call, hoping to hit the 3, but no, it's a deuce, pairs the board.
Now, action's on James.
And he checks.
All in.
Wow, he is pushing all in. He's going to try to bluff for all his money. And it actually could work. It's a hefty bet.
And the tournament on the line.
Usually players don't bluff off all their money, this kind of bet, when they don't have something pretty strong out in front.
This could be a really bad call.
Well, James even laughing about it. Could be a really bad call here. It could be a great one that gets him the title, Vince.
That would be incredible.
Good call.
What a call by James Carroll. These guys fight for every pot. He's got the best hand. If he can dodge an ace, 3, or a 5, he'll be the champion. Dylan even sort of salutes him for making that call.
Unfortunate river for you, though.
Top 10 calls of the season, no doubt about it. He is one card away from becoming a WPT champion at Bay 101.
He's hit a river card already once tonight. Can he do it again? No!
He's done it!
Doesn't happen. James Carroll is our champion. And Vince, you gotta say, the guy deserved this title.
We said it all along. He played the best poker at the table. His luck finally paid off. He gets congratulated by his friends and his girlfriend, Brittany. But right now, let's go over to Matt Savage, who's talking to our runner-up, Dylan Wilkerson.
Dylan, 2 final tables, 2 second-place finishes. Does it hurt to come so close?
Of course. Of course it hurts. It's never fun to get second. But I guess it's better than many of the alternatives, so, you know, nothing I can really do.
Yeah, the money has to help. Over $700,000 for your second-place finish here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, over to you in the winner.
Okay, here we are with the Bay 101 Shooting Star champion, James Carroll. James, congratulations to you. You came to this final table in 4th chip position. Vince and I felt you played by far the best poker at this table, are well deserving of this title. You got to feel good not only about your performance tonight, but all week long to get to this final table.
This has been the best week of my life.
Well, I can believe that because you're getting over $1.25 million, first place prize. You also get your name engraved on the WPT Champions Cup, and you also get a customized set of Monster 24K headphones to commemorate your victory, and you also get a seat in the season-ending WPT World Championship. Fantastic job, well done. How about your railbirds here? They're pretty lucky for you.
Yeah, it's been really great.
Okay, Lynn, back to you.
So there you have it. James Carroll is the Season 12 Bay 101 Shooting Star Champion. For Mike Sexton, Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, the Royal Flush Girls, Matt Savage, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Lynn Gilmartin, and we'll see you next time on the WPT.
I don't understand what this is for. The World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
In Hollywood, Florida, records are shattered in more ways than one. The Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown starts now, tonight on the WPT.
Well, the crowd all standing.
He is circling the drain.
They are going bare knuckles in the center of the ring.
He would love to knock this loudmouth out.
Hi everybody, welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Lynn Gilmartin. Players are always amped to play at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and this season, a $5 million guaranteed prize pool really had the poker community buzzing. 6 days ago, poker's rock stars, along with up-and-comers looking to make some noise, hit the felt here in South Florida with the hope of scoring a big hit. The Seminole Hard Rock Casino provides plenty of diversions for its clientele, but inside the ballroom, the players were focused on one thing: winning.
Anything less than first, I'm extremely disappointed.
This year would feature 3 starting days with unlimited re-entries, creating plenty of opportunity for the tournament to make its $5 million guarantee.
This is obviously a big guarantee, and I think they're going to reach it. I think tomorrow should be bigger than today, and Saturday will be the biggest day.
Fresh off the red eye from the West Coast, Mike Sexton stopped by and checked in with some Champions Club members, including Steve Brecker, Tony Dunst, and Matt Salzberg.
Our reigning WPT Player of the Year, $650. That title will be gone soon.
It was a bit harsh, but Mike was right. And who that title would get passed to was a hotly contested issue amongst the Season 12 contenders. Currently in 4th and 5th place in the standings, Jared Jaffe and James Calderaro talked about how tough the race was.
Well, he's in it, so it can't be that tough.
He's not gonna beat me. I mean, I got to play of the year, but he can't beat.
Would he be the oldest in history to win Player of the Year? Really? You got to do that? I just asked a question. You know I got to back him up, right?
But the man they were all looking up to was local player and the leader of the WPT Player of the Year race, Poker-Turnier.
There's definitely pressure, I guess, to close out the year really well, but it's a good spot to be in.
Day 1A would see 479 entrants take a shot at the title, still a long way from the 1,551 entrants they would need to meet the guarantee. They wouldn't get any help from Matt Salzberg, who finished the day on 1 entry.
One bullet, I'm sorry, Hard Rock. To disappoint you guys. You might not get the guarantee now.
Exactly. Ending the day with the chip lead and earning a $5,000 bonus for his efforts was 2-time WPT finalist Justin Young, who bagged a monster stack of over $313,000.
This stack is definitely probably the biggest one I've ever had for day one of a WPT, probably by far actually. This should help me cruise to the bubble range.
Justin and the rest of the Day 1A finishers would have 2 days off to enjoy the sun before Day 2 would start. A new batch of players arrived in the ballroom ready to get down to business, including 2-time Season 12 finalist Sean Suller, who was fixated on one target.
The Player of the Year race is probably the only thing on my mind besides winning this tournament, but if I win the tournament, it'll all fall in place. So yes, Player of the Year is right on top of my mind.
There were plenty of new faces in the field, including former professional football player Bubba Franks, who explained why he decided to play this event.
I got tired of sitting on the couch watching it on TV all day, and I thought I'd come out here and try it out.
After busting out the previous day, many players like Jared Jaffe were back ready to fire off another shot at the title.
Unless I make jokes like that, then I can easily get them.
Season 11 Seminole Hard Rock runner-up Ben Tarzia spoke about why winning a title is so important.
As many times as you get to a final table, until you win one, there's always something missing in a poker player's career, especially at this level. This is a huge, huge turnout, tons of pros. So yeah, it's something that, I think I'm due, and I hope I get there one day.
All told, 542 entrants took seats on Day 1B, with 196 surviving the day. At the top of the list of remaining players was Milord Margie, who earned a $5,000 bonus for bagging nearly $300,000 in chips.
I think I played great today. There was nothing else I could have really done.
Players, we want to congratulate all of you because with your participation here today, you now belong to the largest field in WPT history. Dealers, let's shovel up and deal.
As action got underway, the $5 million guarantee had not been reached, but that number was getting closer with the help of some WPT champions.
3 re-entry on this tournament already.
This is going to be my 4th bullet.
I busted for the 4th time earlier today. I'm in for my 5th bullet now.
In just the 3rd level of the day, the guarantee was smashed. And when registration closed, the prize pool was over $5.7 million, thanks to the record-breaking field of 1,795 entries. First place would take home over $1 million for their efforts. Poker pro and Wisconsin native Joe Kuther finished strong, good enough to top the crowd and earn a $5,000 bonus.
I was in for 4 bullets, so luckily the 4th one would counter.
304 players survived Day 1C and would combine with the remaining players from the previous days to return for Day 2. The top 6 contenders in the Player of the Year race would all advance, including Poker-Turnier, who fired 6 bullets to protect his lead. With the survivors of the 3 Day 1 flights finally under one roof, players took their seats and unbagged their chips. Season 12 WPT finalists Eddie Sabat and Sean Suller predicted what kind of action we would see today.
You're going to expect a lot of eliminations today, and fast, so hopefully we'll survive.
After having some success on the WPT Premier League and Alpha 8, Season 12 Ones to Watch Jeff Gross was still looking for a big score on the WPT.
It's been the best year ever. I've had some good results in these tournaments. Really can't complain.
One of the early casualties was former Ones to Watch Amanda Musamechi, who lost most of her stack with a big pocket pair.
9-4 of spades beats 2 red kings, so watch out if you have 2 red kings. Danger!
Amanda was one of the many Day 2 victims as player after player saw their dream of the title disappear.
What happened?
With the money bubble on the horizon, Mike Sexton gave his thoughts on whether people would try to play for a min cash.
And the money bubble's nice at 70-some hundred, but I think people are going to be worried more about accumulating chips and looking at making that final table and winning the big bucks than just doubling their buy-in.
Playing this event and sitting on a nice stack was actress and star of the Hangover films, Sasha Brace, who was working on a pocket pair of her own.
Pocket aces. I'm having twins, a girl and a boy. I want check, raise, and fold to be like their first words, for sure.
On the money bubble, Season 12 Borgata Poker Open champion Anthony Zeno was all in on the flop with a pair of jacks, but called by Oren Ungar, who had flopped a set of tens. Anthony knew his chances to survive were slim. A 6 on the turn sealed his fate, and he was knocked out in 171st place, bursting the money bubble.
Next time, Borgata. Back to my home turf for the win. It's all good.
With the rest of the room in the money, play loosened up and the eliminations came quickly. Day 1C chip leader Joe Cuther was one of the early victims, followed by Ryan D'Angelo.
You just have to have a big picture view of the game, I guess. It's just another hand, another tournament. I just try and play my best every hand, and yeah. I mean, when I have a beautiful girlfriend like this.
Also just passed out.
Oh, really? God.
Yeah.
Defending Player of the Year Matt Salzberg was the last player eliminated before play ended for the day. As his reign was ending, this year's race was getting a little clearer as only 2 contenders survived the day. James Calderaro in 28th and Muku Pahuja in 36th. Both trailed way behind the chip leader, Richard Kirsch, who finished with over 1.7 million in chips. Another beautiful South Florida day kicked off with 114 foregoing sunshine for a shot at the WPT title and the over $1 million first place prize. The plan for the day was to play down to 18 players, and it looked like we could get there quickly with lots of early eliminations, including Poker Pro Tyler Patterson, DraftKings qualifier Mark Ellerby, and Season 6 WPT Ladies Championship winner Nancy Todd. Season 12 Grand Prix de Paris champion Mohsin Charania didn't love his table draw, but was feeling optimistic.
I have a pretty tough table, but nothing I can't handle, and 86 people to go before winning another WPT.
One of the last Player of the Year contenders still alive in the field, James Calderaro, busted in 76th place.
This is, I think, one of my biggest disappointments. I think this is for sure I was going to make final table. So, you know, it's but the year's good. We've got one more shot at it, and so we'll take a shot up there in Jersey.
The current Player of the Year leader, Muku Pahuja, was still alive and looked poised to make a deep run to add some cushion to his lead. Season 8 WPT finalist Matt Stout was one of the Day 3 chip leaders, and he spoke about how crucial the next few hours would be.
We're getting to crunch time. I'm still picking up some chips to get to the final table. The people who are trying to grind out the short stack, it's not really going to work. Time to step it up if we don't have a chance to win this thing.
This proved to be the case, as many smaller stacks busted out.
Next time.
While others made their move to pick up chips. After the all-in flop bet from actress Sasha Brace, Season 9 WPT finalist Eric Afriat called with his straight flush draw. A queen on the turn gave Eric a straight, but a miracle 10 on the river gave Sasha a bigger straight and the monster pot.
You shouldn't be so upset. You've got a ton of chips.
Thanks for your comments. I'm good.
I thought he was being extremely rude, but that's just me. I might be hungry and tired.
Making some noise elsewhere on the tournament floor was Cincinnati Poker Pro Jake Baisley, who, after pulling in pot after pot, emerged as one of the chip leaders.
For the most part, just cruising, just trying to get through these people.
Mohsin Charania's dream of winning his second WPT title came to an end when he was eliminated in 36th place by Jordan Scott. After doubling up Jeff Gross, Sasha Brace was on the short stack and busted shortly after.
I'm really happy. This is the biggest buy-in I've ever done. I only had to do one bullet. It's definitely tougher than the tournaments that I'm used to, but this is kind of all I want to play from now on.
At the end of the night, it was Jake Baisley at the top of the chip counts, followed by Poker Pro Chance Corner. Muku Pahuja was in 5th place and poised to make his 3rd final table of Season 12. The final 18 players would return for Day 4 to play down to the televised final table. A record-setting field took the plunge, but only 6 will ride out the wave of eliminations and claim their spot in the sun. Find out who does when we return on the WPT. Welcome back to the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown, where the largest field in WPT history plays down to the 6 seats at the final table. The 18 survivors of the 1,795 entrants that began this tournament took their seats and settled in for a challenging day of poker. Chance Corneth and James Mackey discussed their strategy before play got underway.
I'm probably going to be going all in a lot, considering I have the shortest stack.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be facing some difficult decisions a lot versus big.
The first level of play saw 5 eliminations, including 3 by the chip leader, Jake Baisley, who increased his chip lead to over 13 million. After doubling up Mukul Pahuja, Day 1A chip leader Justin Young was all in for his last 200,000, and he was called by Barry Hutter and Eric Afriat.
I'm gonna be halfway to the payout desk before the river comes.
The pot was checked down to the river, and when Barry bet 150,000, Eric folded. Barry tabled his hand, showing a 10-9, which was enough to beat Justin, ending his deep run.
Probably for the next 3 or 4 days, it hurts pretty bad, but I'll be happy about it probably, and probably by the time WPT Championship starts up.
The final 10 included 6 players who had already made a WPT final table, an incredible feat for this monster field. 2 players on the short stack were Jeff Gross and, hoping to make his first WPT final table, Matt Glantz.
Predicting it, heads up. We're going to go 1-2, so good luck.
Jeff's prediction came to a quick end when he was knocked out in 10th place by Jake Baisley, and he was followed out the door by Matt in 9th place. After leading the field for most of the day, Jake Baisley lost a big pot and the chip lead to Mukul Pahuja, who was looking to put an exclamation point on his season by winning a WPT title. Barry Hutter was the next to fall when his pocket sixes failed to improve against Matt Stout's kings. Down to 7 players, Season 12 Jacksonville Fall Poker Scramble runner-up Blake Purvis was all in with Ace-Jack suited, and called by the pocket nines of Eric Afriat. No help on the board knocked Blake out in 7th place, just short of his second final table.
I think I played well. I mean, you have to play well to go through 1,800 players to get down to 7, so you got to be a little lucky and win your flips, and obviously I lost the last one.
The final 6 were comprised of 3 players who have previously made WPT final tables and 3 young tough poker pros making their first WPT final table. All 6 were looking to win their very first WPT title. What a remarkable final table we have in store. And before play gets started, let's turn our attention to our resident rock stars, Poker Hall of Famer Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten. Now, Mike, can you describe the run Mukul Pahuja has been on this season?
Well, Mukul's performance this season has been amazing. This is his 5th cash and his 3rd final table. Now, in the history of the World Poker Tour, only 6 players have made 3 final tables in a single season. And 4 of those, Eric Lindgren, Daniel Negreanu, Gavin Smith, and J.C. Tran went on to become WPT Player of the Year. The other 2 were Phil Ivey, who did it twice, and John Juanda. And Lynn, let's not forget, Mukul's the big chip player at this final table. He's definitely the man to beat tonight.
He sure is. And Vince, does it look like Mukul is facing some stiff competition tonight?
Well, Lynn, there's no soft spots at this final table. I mean, this is a stacked table tonight. We have 2 World Series of Poker bracelet winners at this final table. That is James Mackey, of course, and Chance Corneth. They are both great players. On top of that, we have the very talented Jake Baisley from Cincinnati, Ohio. He is terrific. And then we have 2 players that are making their 2nd appearance on the World Poker Tour. That is Matt Stout, a great player, and then Eric Afriat from Montreal. Now, Eric has a big fan base. He's terrific, a former tailor. He's in the clothing business. He said to me right before, he said, Vince, I'm a tailor. I'm going to try to tailor these guys up and chop them up into little pieces, Mike.
Well, at least they look good in the process, but it certainly won't be easy. And before the players took their seats, we grabbed a quick word with Mukul.
I've been working towards this for a while, and this has definitely been the goal for a little while now. So to do it here at home would be it would be perfect.
So will the 3rd time be the charm for Mukul, or will another player snatch the title? The Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown final table starts right after this.
Season 12 of the World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where VIP members can win their share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month. ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Winning a WPT championship would Definitely changed my life in a lot of ways. A lot of people would prefer just the title, but I just honestly want the money.
The young guys, they don't realize the magnitude of making $1 million. Wow, you know, in my business, you know, it's like I struggle working 16, 18 hours a day and realize that it's not that easy to make money.
I've been waiting for a title for a while. I've gotten second in some big events, and pretty much nobody remembers second place, so I just really want this title.
Every tournament you win is going to be a mixture of good luck and good play. When you're going through 1,800 players, you're going to have some luck to win.
2009 was my first final table on the World Poker Tour. It feels like so long ago. I feel like I've stayed ahead of the curve as the game's gotten tougher and tougher, and it's so good to be back after all the work I put in.
I think this is probably the toughest final table I've ever been at. These guys really know what they're doing. Well, I have the most chips right now. It's going to be a battle.
Welcome back to the final table of the WPT Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown here in Hollywood, Florida.
Mike, poker is booming on the WPT. We set a record 1,795 entrants here this week. They're playing for millions. The cards are in the air. So let's go down to the felt.
Well, let's first take a look at the Skrill chip count. Muckle Pahuja well out in front. Nearly 19 million in chips. James Mackey in second with 11.6. And Jake Baisley in third with 7.3 million.
And as you can see, the winner's going to take home $1,081,000. What a first place prize. The antes will start at $25,000. The blinds at $75,150.
Well, these are the final six out of a record-breaking field we had for this tournament. Action on our chip leader, Muckle Pahuja.
Yeah, he's from this area, Coconut Creek. He's the chip leader. He's going to quickly fold.
Eric Offer out, the lone amateur at the table going out.
Jake Baisley now from Cincinnati, Ohio. Takes a look at a 7-6. He's going to fold the hand.
Now James Mackey on the button here. Looks down at a 9-7 offsuit. Going to make a button raise to $300,000.
Action on Chance. Now he's a local from Hollywood, Florida.
Well, these two guys know each other well by playing so much online together.
Wow, he's going to re-raise.
3 betting here with just a junk hand. Makes it $925,000 to go.
And now Matt Stout. He's got the real hand, ace, king of clubs.
Matt, a professional player, lives in Las Vegas. I think with his chip count, Vince, he made his ship in here.
I'm all in.
Oh, there he goes.
That is what he's done. He has moved all in.
James Mackey getting out of the way with a nothing hand.
Well, Chance was making a move himself with a 10-8 offsuit. It would have worked had Matt not picked up such a big hand.
Matt Stout from Vegas, 29 years old, picking up hand number 1.
So how about that? A 4-bet all-in on hand number 1 at this final table. Vince, this is going to be a good one.
Certainly is. Action on the Canadian, Eric Afriat. He will fold that hand. Now Jake Baisley. He's got a 7-9. Going to take a break. James Mackey now with a king 7 of spades. Moves it up to $300,000 to go. Chance with a ace 5 of diamonds. Going to quickly make this call.
Over to Matt Stout. He goes out.
There's our chip leader Muckle.
And he folds in the big blind.
So two-way action. Ace 5 versus King 7, and look at this flop. Ace King 7. 2 pair for James Mackey and aces for Chance. Mackey first to act. He has bet 400,000. Chance, of course, with aces, quickly making the call. Going to the turn. 6 of clubs. And Mackey with the 2 pair. Now there are 3 clubs out there now. Does he slow down? Nope. Not the young man from Kansas City. He is betting again, 925.
Well, Chance picking up chips. And he is going to make the call with the 2 aces.
Yeah, no club, though.
Neither player has a club.
Big pot, deuce of hearts, and changes nothing.
If you're sitting in Mackey's seat, you like that card. You know that didn't help him.
I'll say. And he's going to go in for the value bet on the end.
Yep, 1.375 million. Betting about a third of the pot.
Chance with the aces looks over to his opponent.
Well, I'm not going to raise.
It's beautiful news for Mackey. Now Mackey is saying, well, please call me then. I know you can't beat 2 pair.
Now, pressure that he's under right now.
Okay, you got it, buddy.
Oh, this is a nice laydown. James Mackey, 28 years old, a top player online, takes down that one.
Feels weird calling you James.
You can call me big.
What?
You can call me big.
I figured.
My nickname, MiG, was my online name. I really loved the Russian fighter jets, MiG, when I was a kid. And so whenever I created my online name, I just chose MiG.
I've known James for so long, but for 5 years I've called him Mig, which was his online name. And I didn't even know it was James until 2 days ago. Mig is a really cool kid. He's really quiet at the table, but pretty fun to play with.
Now, that's how these online guys do, Vince. They just know you're by your online screen name. They don't even know what your name is. Michael Pahuja still well out in front. He will be the man to beat tonight.
Action back on Chance, who's actually the short stack at this point now.
The best hand, but can he call?
Chance will raise with this hand, makes it 300,000 to go. Now, that's the laugh of Matt Stout, sort of like a SpongeBob laugh, kind of.
No question about it. You recognize his laugh clear across the room.
Now, Eric Afriat has an attractive queen jack of diamonds, and he will make this call. Jake Baisley will fold.
And James Mack in the big blind, and he's going to make the call as well for the min raise. So we're going to have three-way action.
And here's the flop. It's a king 7 deuce. James checks.
Chance, who's flopped the nut flush draw, but he checks.
So does Eric. And a king on the turn. No one has a king. Mackey going to check again. Now Chance, who raised before the flop, is now, he's got a 4 flush.
Well, he may also think the ace high is the best hand here, the way this hand's been played.
Well, he's going to stick out 450. Canadian goes out.
And James out as well. So Chance Corneth, the youngest player at the table, taking down that pot.
We're just getting started at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
I had a much nicer critic. Only one, but I...
This episode of the World Poker Tour is brought to you in part by DraftKings. If you like poker and sports, then you're going to love daily fantasy sports at DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com, enter promo code WPT, and start playing today.
Hi, I'm Angelique, one of the Royal Flush Girls, and we're here at Seminole Hard Rock. They love coming here because you can be outside, enjoy the sun, and come inside and enjoy really good poker.
I had such a great time yesterday poolside. The Hard Rock girls came and joined us. We had a few cocktails.
And then at night, we went and we played blackjack to win a lot of money.
After cashing in a lot of chips, we decided that we'll go and celebrate at Council Oak. You walk in there and it's just so nice, so high end, and they have these amazing cuts of like the meat just sitting there, and you can just, literally choose which one you want. And they made this really cool drink right in front of us, and they added liquid nitrogen to it just to top it off. I had such a great time this whole week.
Now, Vince, do you get those kind of drinks? Liquid nitrogen?
I did not get that. I'm very jealous. It looked spectacular, but we're having a great time. What a facility this is, what a casino, and what a hotel. Absolutely gorgeous.
Well, like the Royal Flush Girls, we love it here, as do all the players.
Okay, on the action, Muckle with a quick fold, and now the Clothier, Eric.
325.
With ace-10 has raised, makes it 325 to go. Jake getting out of the way. James Mackey, though, with a king-5 of diamonds. He looks interested.
Well, he's on the button. He's in position. Just has a king-5.
He's got a lot of chips, and he's going to re-raise.
Well, that's what the young guns do. They 3-bet with these kind of hands. 800,000 to go now.
Chance and Matt Stout now going away.
They call him Mig. He's going to try to shoot down the amateur right now.
Back on Eric.
Well, you have a reasonable hand, but when a guy raises you, you're not really fond of it, but you want to call and see what happens.
Here we go with the flop. It's a 4-3 deuce.
Well, Eric out in front with ace high. Both players have a straight draw, as you can see.
And they both check. And the turn card is a king of clubs, and that's going to give James kings.
Yeah, nice card for him.
550.
Eric's going to take the lead now with his ace high and try to represent. He's going to bet 550.
Well, James Mackey will be going nowhere with top pair and an open-end straight draw. He is going to play, but just opts to call here.
River card is a deuce of diamonds, pairs the board.
Eric is going to check.
Yeah, he's frustrated. Gotta hate that king.
All right.
Well, James checking right behind him here.
Ace.
That's no good.
And going to win this pot with kings up. And look at the look on Eric's face, Vince. He knows that youngster 3-bet before the flop with a king 5.
Nice flop.
Right now, Eric taking his hits there. But nicely played by James.
That's my bad. I know. I should wait for him to show first. I was being nice.
I was like tired. And
By checking on the river, James had to show everybody his 3-bet bluff pre-flop there, and they all noticed it, believe me.
All right, on to the next one. Quick fold by Baisley.
James going to raise again. Ace-9 he's got this time. Makes it 300,000 to go.
Chance and Matt out. Muckle Bahuja, our chip leader, also folding.
Well, Eric has the same hand. This time it's suited. Ace-10 of spade. Has his opponent dominated here. Going to make the call. So the same two guys going at it. And it comes Ace-Queen-10. Great flop for Eric. He's got top and bottom pair. His opponent has just 2 aces, drawing almost dead, and it goes check, check.
3 of hearts on the turn. Eric's going to check again.
Surprised at that.
Wants to get a check raise in, obviously. And he's going to get this because James has bet it 450.
900.
Eric's going to double the bet. Makes it 900,000 to go. Oh, so scary.
Yeah, the min raise puts more fear in you than a big raise,
Really
but a
does.
quick call here by Mackey.
Down to the river we go. It's a jack of spades.
That is the one card Eric did not want to look at with a 4-card straight out there, fearful his opponent might have a king.
Yeah, that's going to slow him down. He checks.
Well, James quickly checks behind him.
No games for James. Eric Afriat from Montreal, the non-professional, second-time WPT final table player, will take down this one.
There you see Eric's family and friends. He's got about 29 family and friends here in the crowd with him, even though he's from Canada. They've come in to watch him tonight.
Okay, action on the guy from Vegas, Matt Stout, a great player, 29 years old. Hasn't gotten warmed up yet. He mucks this hand down right behind a Muckle with a pair of 10s.
Well, first time he's gotten to action tonight, even though he's got the big chip lead. And he's in action for a reason. Got a nice hand, 2 10s, makes it 325 to go.
Eric out. And Jake Baisley with an awful hand. Won't play it.
A lot of young talent on this table, Vince, I can tell you. 4 guys in their 20s, and they can all really, really play.
Yes, they can. Now, Chance will take a chance with a queen, 8 of diamonds, making this call. Here's the flop.
Well, comes 9-7-4. It's a good flop for Muckle. He's got the overpair here. Chance is checked.
And Muckle with a continuation bet and a real hand. Bets 300,000.
Chance has a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, but against the chip leader, who hasn't played a pot yet, just go ahead and give it up, as he does.
So Muckle will take down that pot. Originally out of Long Island, now a local out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Very nicely done.
This was a rebuy event. Muckle bought into this tournament 6 times. Out of 1,795 players, he had to get to 36th place just to break even. And here he is at the final table, so obviously those rebuys, the right decision for him.
Well, you know who didn't rebuy was John DeSante. He was a Club WPT winner, Mike. He got in on the free roll, had a great time, didn't make the big bucks, but he was here.
Well, I have something in common with John. Yeah. I didn't rebuy either, but I got busted just like he did. What are you going to do? But as you said, John qualified on ClubWPT.com to make it to this event. Had a great time down here this week. You can try it too. Log on to ClubWPT.com, sign up, become a VIP member. You can get all the perks of membership, watch all the old episodes of the World Poker Tour, win your share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month, and who knows, you might win an entry into a WPT live event just like John did.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
We'll be right back with more from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino right after this.
Welcome back to Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, right here in beautiful Hollywood, Florida.
Well, there we see the chip count. Mucklpahoosic well out in front with over 19 million. James Mackey still in second with 13 million. Eric Afriat, the amateurs, now moved into third place with 7 million.
Let's go down to the felt. 6 players battle for the $1.1 million first place prize.
Over to Eric now. He looks down at an ace-10.
He's a Clo of the Year from Montreal.
350.
Getting out raising chips, going to make it 350,000 to go.
But right behind him, Jake Baisley.
Same hand, ace-10.
Jake, 31 years old, from Cincinnati, a professional poker player.
Been a pro for 8 years.
Raise.
Gonna pop this.
Gonna 3-bet it here. Makes it 850,000 to go.
Mackey and Chance out. Matt Stout also won't play. So back around to Eric.
1.5.
Whoa. Unbelievable. A 4-bet here by the amateur. With Eric just has the ace-10 offsuit and is going to 4-bet it here. Not going to let these young guys push him around, Vince. What a play here by Eric.
Very strong.
If you're sitting in Jake's seat, folks, I can tell you, when amateurs 4-bet, you just don't like an ace-10. How much more money do you want to commit with this hand? And Jake didn't want to commit anymore, and I don't blame him.
Eric says you can take a look at either card. And Jake points to the ace, and that's going to make him feel good, actually.
Are you happy it wasn't a deuce?
A little bit.
And there's the Monster Bar with the Royal Flush girls enjoying the moment here.
Well, Vince, I don't know about you, but I'm impressed by that play by Eric there.
Yeah, me too.
It shows me this guy is going to gamble. He's come to play. He's not going to let these guys just 3-bet him to death.
All right, Eric folds his hand, as does Jake. And now James Mackey picks up the ace-10. The raise makes it 300,000 to go. Right behind him, Chance with a king. Queen says all in. He's on the short stack. He's going to plunge away. Matt Stout getting out.
Knuckle out as well.
2.8 or something?
2.725.
Okay, I call.
Oh, wow. James is going to make this call.
Well, he can well afford to make the call with over 13 million in chips.
And he's a favorite. It's a good call.
He's out in front with the ace-high.
These spades are left.
Chance's tournament life on the line here. There's Chance's girlfriend, Emily. Got her fingers crossed for her man. Can he get lucky? Yes. Whoa. So far, so good.
He's hit
her and
queens.
Chance as he's taking the lead. 2 queens on the flop.
Beautiful flop for Chance. Loving that.
Suspenseful.
2 more cards to sweat, though.
We got a deuce or a 5 on the turn coming.
That seems expected, doesn't it?
It seems pretty expected.
At least a jack.
This feels pretty sweaty.
Let's go to 4th Street. It's an ace. Uh-oh.
Heartbreak for Chance right there.
Well, we're gonna need a good card here. Mig's crowd erupts.
If you don't put a king or queen out there, I'm going to lose my sidekick, and I don't know what I'm going to do without my sidekick.
Well, Chance went to Colorado, was majoring in architectural engineering, didn't finish, dropped out to play poker, but he needs to build a hand here if he wants to stay alive.
Emily with the prayer. It's not going to work out. 8 of clubs on the river.
That's going to do it for Chance Corneth of Hollywood, Florida. The local going out tonight in 6th place.
That is right. Chance Corneth turns into Swamp Chum. Going to take home $247,000, though. A big applause for him. Let's go see what he has to say.
It was a fun event. A lot of great guys are still at the table, so I hope one of them wins. And it was a good time.
See you later, alligator. Florida's own Chance Corneth is out in 6th place. Stay tuned for more action from the Seminole Hard Rock in just a moment.
Keeping up with the latest news on your favorite players and tournaments can be a real grind. ClubWPT.com makes it easy with online access to poker magazines like WPT Poker.
Get all the poker you want at ClubWPT.com.
Welcome back to the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. We are down to 5 players after Chance Corneth took a chance, shoving with King-Queen in the monster hand of the day.
I'm all in.
And it was amazing. It looked like his gamble paid off when he hit a lucky lady on the flop. Yeah, but Chance's luck turned when James hit the monster ace to give him the lead.
Well,
We're gonna need a good card here. Hopefully we still have a
Chance would
here.
not improve.
Oh, nice hand, Mig.
The guy that called Mig shut down the first player at this final table.
Well, there you see the 5 that are left. Muckle Pahuja still well out in front with 18.8 million, but with that last pot, James Mackey on his heels now with 16.7 million.
Let's go to the felt. 5-handed poker now at the Seminole Hard Rock. Action on Jake. Quickly folds his hand.
Yeah, over to James Mackey, the Jack-7 of diamonds, staying aggressive, betting 300,000 with that hand.
Now Matt Stout behind him with an attractive ace-9 of hearts.
I'm just going to call with the ace-9. Muckle Pahuja now in the small blind. He looks down at ace-6 suited.
He's got some money in there already.
He's going to make the call.
And our Canadian Eric, the clothier, with just a awful hand, 10-3.
Wow, he's going to cap his cards, though, Vince. Could he possibly make a squeeze play over all these young guns here?
Don't go too crazy on us here, but...
Unbelievable.
Wow.
He is doing it.
He's going to take a shot with a junk hand.
Wow. $1 million to go here with this trash. James goes out.
Matt's got a pretty solid hand, though, but no, he doesn't want any of the action either. He folds.
Well, Muckle with a decent hand as well, but he goes out. So there you go, folks. The oldest player at the table, the amateur, shooting down the young guns by raising it up right there.
Well,
wow, what a play by Eric.
You can't call him an amateur. He's a non-professional. He has a business. He's a clothier, and he just made the play of the night. On to the next hand. Fold by Matt. Now Muckle with a 6-5 of spades has raised. Eric, the hero at the table so far, calling.
With the 5-3 of clubs, Vince. So this is not the kind of amateur you're used to seeing, folks, that plays tight and solid.
Jake and James both go out.
We've seen a lot of moves by Eric tonight so far at this table.
Incredible couple little hands here, and the flop's a Jack 10-8, but there's 2 spades out there.
Yeah, Muckle has the flush draw. But still, those middling cards are the kind that you fear when a guy calls a raise.
Muckle has checked.
If he had real big cards, he'd re-raise you.
Eric trying to get bold again, betting with nothing, 450.
Well, because his opponent has a flush draw, this bluff's not going to work, at least at this point.
Muckle makes the insta-call and catches a flush. Now, do you check again? You caught your flush. And give a chance the guy might bet, but no, Muckle is going to play it straightforward and make a bet, 775.
Well, in case Eric had something like a queen jack here, you just hate to give him a free draw if you check this flush, where he might make a full house on you and beat you. At least make him pay for it. As we can see, Eric drawing completely dead. No card he can catch to win this pot.
That's the worst card I could have seen.
The clothier might not want to lose his shirt, getting too involved, and he's going to do the right thing and fold it.
So when Muckle came on the scene, it's like, oh, hey, you're Vinny's little brother. And then I played with him a few times. I was like, oh, this kid is kind of good. After we played down to the final table and got down to 6, I made a comment about how it's good to be back after 4.5 years. Then I turned to Muck. I was like, hey, Muck, how many days has it been since you made a World Poker Tour final table?
Boy, it is great to be on a rush, and that is what Muckle has been doing lately on the WPT.
Yeah, this is the 3rd final table this season. That's why Matt was making that comment. Everybody having a good time here.
Eric and Jake fold this hand, and now James Mackey with a 7-5 with the buttons, going to raise to 300,000.
Well, Mackey just relentlessly aggressive, as you can see.
Matt out, and Muckle, oh, he's got the real hand, ace, king of diamonds.
Yeah. Well, the serious looks comes on his face now, as you can see. But look, Vince, he's just calling.
Ooh.
Going to camouflage the strength of this hand, that's for sure.
Try to disguise. Let's see if it works. The flop is a 10-3-3. No help to either player. Muckle's going to check again.
Well, James, with this kind of junk, knows he's got a bet to win the pot. That's what he's doing, 325,000. But Muckle going nowhere with the ace-king. Wants to take off another card here. Now a jack comes off. Now this gives Muckle a straight draw, but he's going to check again. James is slowing down as well.
Yep.
Now an ace comes off, so
Muckle hitting aces.
He's got aces up with a king kicker.
Not that he needed it. And now Muckle has the decision. Do you just bet and try to get some value? Of course, we know James has nothing.
Well, what you're hoping for is your opponent's made aces up where you've got him out kicked here. And he's going to pay you off, so Muckle going to bet $750,000.
And James Mackey from Kansas City says, I've had enough. I'm going to fold that. Take it down, Muckle. You deserve it. There's Muckle's buddies rooting him on. It's a big night for Muckle.
And with that hand, we end our first hour of coverage. And this final table is definitely living up to its hype. Please join us next time with more from the Season 12's Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. For Mike Sexton, Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, the Royal Flush Girls, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Lynn Gilmartin. See you next time on the WPT.
I don't understand what this is for. The World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
High-stakes poker action in Florida continues with the lion's share of the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown's $5.7 million prize pool still up for grabs. Tonight on the WPT.
Well, the crowd all standing. He is circling the drain. They are going bare knuckles in the center of the ring.
He would love to knock this loudmouth out.
Hi everyone, welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Lynn Gilmartin. The Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida has quickly become one of poker's hottest spots. And this season, they attracted a record-setting field of nearly 1,800 entrants. And now we are down to our final 5 players. Joining me tonight are the WPT's own poker chiefs, Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten. Guys, what is your current take on this final table?
Well, Lynn, no big surprises to me with 5 left here at this final table. Muckle Pahuja came to the final table as the big chip leader. He's still the chip leader. James Mackey came to the final table in second chip position, and he's still in second chip position, but his chip count has grown more than anybody else's at the table. He's played the most aggressive at the table. But to me, so far, it's going according to Hoyle. The chip leaders are still the guys to beat at this final table.
That is probably true, Lynn, but you know what? We're at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. You know, we're close to the Everglades, and these guys are playing swamp poker. They're like gators, chomping at the bit, going after that 1.1 million. It's up for grabs.
Well, I am staying out of their way. We've gotten word that action is starting back up, so from the safety of my desk, let's check the chip counts and get back to the table.
Well, there you see the Skrill chip count. Muckle Pahuja out in front with over 20 million. James Mackey in second place with 15.7.
Yep, the winner's going to take home $1,081,000 here tonight. The Andes are 25,000. The blinds are 75 and 150. Action on Jake Baisley from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Well, Jake looks down on an ace-6 suited, and he is going to raise it up to $350,000.
Right behind him, Mackey with an ace-10, though, will make this call. Matt Stout from Vegas folds the hand.
The chip leader, Muckle Pahuja, out as well.
And here's the clothier, Eric Afriat from Montreal. Not going to play his hand, so two-way action, ace-10 versus ace-6, and the flop is 3 deuces.
Well, the Ducks are quacking here.
Baisley going to make the continuation bet of 325. Mackey's going to quickly call it. And the turn card is a queen of spades.
So as the cards lie, this would be a split pot. If it were checked down or somebody called a bet all the way down, both players would be playing 3 deuces with an ace-queen.
This Jake, though, is relentless. Bets with just ace high again, 950.
Well, this a bold bet here by Jake. Now, just too much pressure for James. He can't stand it, so give Jake credit there. Never let off the pedal, taking down the pot.
31 years old, out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's a former basketball coach, Vince. Coached at Christian Brothers University, actually played there. He was a second-team All-American basketball player, in fact, so pretty good jock.
Very impressive. On to the next hand. The blinds are going up to 1 and 200. Quick fold by Jake and James.
Now over to Matt Stout from Las Vegas. Looks down at a queen 10 offsuit.
Highly regarded young player.
Yeah, this is
all in.
His ninth WPT cash, his second final table. He finished third at Foxwoods.
Matt's going to shove. Right behind him, Muckle's got ace-8. And he is considering this.
Well, he's considering it because he can well afford to make the call and knows Matt might be in desperation mode
Call.
He's made the call with the ace high. Great read by Muckle here.
Eric out. They turn over their cards.
So Matt Stout's tournament life on the line.
Second time on the WPT final table. Matt Stout in trouble right now.
He has too many chips already, Kenny. Muck does not want to win this pot. I'm sure of it.
And the flop is coming up as a jack 8 deuce.
That's a good flop.
8's for Muckle.
9 ball. Well, Matt needs a queen, 10, or a 9. 9 would win it. Queen or 10 would give him the lead.
Turn cards up 4 clubs. No luck for Matt.
Down to the river card.
Can Matt Stout outdraw right here? Let's see. Nope. It's a 6 of spades, Mike.
Well, that's going to do it for the 29-year-old poker pro out of Las Vegas. Matt Stout came to the final table on the short stack. Goes out in 5th place.
Matt Stout going to take home $308,000. Just didn't get any cards. Let's see what he has to say.
Overall, I'm not too disappointed. I'm sure I'll be back. I've been working hard on my game and playing my best. So I'm pretty sure you guys will be seeing me again.
He's a great player with a great voice. Hate to see him go, but we're down to 4 players, Mike.
Well, there you see Muckle Bougie extending his chip lead to over $23 million. 4 left, fighting it out for this title.
Big money going to the winner. Action on the non-professional, Eric Afriat from Montreal. He's got an ace, deuce of spades.
450.
We'll raise it to 450 to go. But right behind him, Jake has picked up Jake's pair of jacks.
Yeah, he's got the 2 jacks, so you know this is going to get raised.
Going to go close to 1.1 million. James out. And the chip leader, Muckle.
He's got nothing, so he goes out.
And now Eric, with his AC deucey, will make this call. Eric likes the action. We've seen him make some tremendous bluffs so far at the final table.
Well, he's just not going to be pushed around by these young guys, Vince. We've seen it all night long at this final table. Flop is 9-9-7 with 2 hearts. Eric checks the ace high. Nice flop for Jake there. If you've got that overpair, you're satisfied with this flop.
And he's going to come out with the bet, close to 1.2 million. Uh-oh, Eric said raise.
Wow, and a snap raise, Vince, with just ace high. He's made these plays before at this final table. They've worked. Will it work here?
2.3.
He's going to 2.35, taking a shot at a bluff.
Now, Vince with Jake Baisley's chip stack.
It's got to be like 350, but whatever.
2.3.
He's virtually going to have to commit all his chips if he wants to play this pot, but...
Little does Eric know, Jake has a real hand.
Well, you think he's probably got a flush draw.
Yeah.
If he's got a 9, you're dead meat, but I don't see you throwing jacks away here with your chip stack on.
Never, and Jake does the right thing, goes all in. And now you got to think that Eric knows the jig is up.
Yep.
And the clothier would hate to lose his shirt in this one.
Ready to go home? I'm going to stay longer.
Ready to go home. Oh, boy.
Well, Jake doesn't want to go home, but you'd have to be very unlucky to lose this pot.
Eric finally gets real.
Show me one.
And he says, can you show me one? And Jake just shakes his head.
I'm an overpair.
Seems like a bad fold, then.
Jake Baisley out of Cincinnati. Gonna take down a good one.
I earned a Division II basketball scholarship to a school called Christian Brothers University in Memphis, Tennessee. In college, my whole basketball team got into poker when Rounders came out, and we all started playing home games. When you're in a basketball game, you can't think about anything else. You just got to be in the moment and play the game. If you start thinking about other stuff, you're going to make a mistake. Poker is very much like that. Winning a WP title would mean everything to me. Cincinnati needs a winner. We've had a lot of downfalls over the years, a lot of disappointed fans. So I definitely just want to bring a title back to Cincinnati.
So Jake Baisley, the Cincinnati kid, looking to bring a title back to Ohio. I'm from right up the road in Dayton. Always good to see an Ohio guy take down titles.
All right, back to Felt. James Mackey with a pair of 9s, going to make it 400,000 to go. Muckle right behind him with a King 7 of clubs. That's going to pique his interest.
He is going to 3-bet it here to 975,000.
Eric out. And now Jake with a junk hand. Can't call that. So back on James.
What do you do with the mid pair when your opponent 3-bets you, especially if he's the chip leader? Well, you're going to call and see a flop. At least that's what James is doing.
Nines versus king 7 of clubs. And the flop is a queen 7 deuce, but there's 2 clubs out there.
And a pair of 7s for Muckle as well. So a huge flop for him, a pair and a flush draw.
James is quickly checked. And Muckle with the bet, 750.
Yeah, James makes the call.
James out of Kansas City, Missouri, 28 years old. Big online player. They call him Mig. Goes to the turn, and it's an 8 of diamonds. Doesn't help Muckle. James is going to check.
Well, Muckle's checking also. Fearful his opponent might have 2 queens, may have made 7s and 8s.
River card, a 9. 3 of a kind there for Mig.
Well, Mig very happy to see that card, especially after his opponent checked on the turn. You almost have to feel certain you have the best hand with 3 9s now.
Well, wants to put in a big bet, not just a value bet. Wow. Close to 2.4. And Muckle with just 7s.
Well,
releases the hand.
Gotta be the one to, I said I would do it. I said I would be the one to cheer for you.
Thank you, Muck. I appreciate it.
Even against your
Muckle, very good-natured about that loss. Mig's gonna take that pot.
Stick around for more action from the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. Plus, Tony Dunst gives us a hand in the raw deal. Find out who has the DNA to be a monster at the table. And discover who is the real poker ace in Ones to Watch. It's all coming up when we return on the WPT.
This episode of the World Poker Tour is brought to you in part by DraftKings. If you like poker and sports, then you're gonna love daily fantasy sports at DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com, enter promo code WPT, and start playing today. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. You are watching the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. 4 players remain.
Yeah, Muckle Boozer still out in front. Nearly 23 million. James Mackey in second with 16.6. Jake Baisley, Eric Offerath with about 7 million apiece.
Battling for that close to 1.1 million in prize money. Let's go to the felt. Pair of 8s for James Mackey. And he will raise 450 total. Behind him, Muckle Bahuja has an ace-jack of clubs.
Well, he knows how aggressive Mackey is. Will he 3-bet with this hand? That's the question. And that's the answer. No, he does not. He just calls.
Yep, Eric from Montreal out, and Jake Baisley from Cincinnati will not play that. So 8s versus ace-jack of clubs.
All right, the under pair versus the over cards. Here comes the flop. Now the flop comes Queen 9-5 with 2 clubs. James out in front with the 2 8s, but as you can see, Muckle has the nut flush draw and could put a lot of pressure on 2 8s here.
But James is going to bet it. 450.
Now Muckle just calling here. Didn't raise before the flop. Not raising on the flop, which I'm a little surprised.
And an ace on the turn. That's beautiful for Muckle. Hitting the pair of aces.
And James Mackey not liking that card. Going to check, and wisely so.
Muckle, the hottest player on the circuit this year, 3 times at a final table on the World Poker Tour.
Yeah, it's his 5th cash this season as well. He is in front for the WPT Player of the Year. In fact, if he wins tonight, he can shut out the field going into the final event, our WPT World Championship.
Well, Muckle has bet 775. James goes out. And Mike, I look around this table, all these players are tremendous. They all got game.
Well, that's right, Vince. But they're also good because they're constantly working on improving their game. And you can improve your poker skills by playing on ClubWPT.com.
That is very true. You can practice all the strategies you want. You can play as many hands as you want. And maybe you too can get lucky and make it out here on the World Poker Tour playing for millions.
Well, there you see the chip count. Muckle in firm control here with about 24 million in chips. James Mackey in second with 14 million. And Eric and Jake sitting on about 7 million apiece.
All right, action's going to be on Mackey again. And this time he has an ace-3.
He's certainly been the most aggressive at the table. Going to raise it here, too. Makes it 450 to go.
Muckle folding, and now Mr. Montreal, the clothier, has picked up a pair of 9s.
Call.
And he's just going to call.
Well, does not raise here with the 2 9s. Surprising, as aggressive as he's been all night.
Cincinnati kid folds, so Nines versus ace-3. Here we go again. And the flop is an ace-king-4.
Oh, nice flop for James. He's got top pair now, but action on Eric.
325.
Yep, he's going to take a shot. 325 he bets.
That's a feeler bet to find out where he's at here, and if your opponent calls you, you now know your 2 nines are no good.
Yeah, how does that feel, Eric? Not good as the turn hits another ace. 3 of a kind from Mackey. Just gets better and better. And Eric just gets worse and worse. He's going to put in another bet. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm surprised by that.
Yep.
When a guy calls you on the flop when it comes ace-king baby, you know he's got an ace or a king.
475 gift here. Oh, and James is going to walk that dog. Ouch!
Gonna make the call, and a jack comes off on the river. Action back on Eric. Now, you would think he'd get the message by now. Yes, he does.
Yep.
He is checked.
The former shirt maker slows down.
Now, Mackey's got 3 aces with a king-jack. He's going to bet here, hoping his opponent's got a king in his hand and will pay him off. 725,000 to bet.
Putting in a value bet against the Clothier. Eric competed gamely for that, but he is going to fold the hand.
Eric lays it down. Show me one. You see one?
Now look, he says, "Can you show me one?"
This one?
And James Mackey says no.
Don't ask me to see it.
That's right, Eric.
There are many ways to measure success in the poker world, and for one flashy player, we learned that his success is all relative, as we'll see in this edition of Ones to Watch.
We're the ones to watch. I'm the guy. If you need something, I got it.
Ladies love money too, you know?
Sometimes things go your way.
Kind of like a party anywhere I go.
WPT. Wants to watch.
Poker, it's life, man. Probably the best job ever. Living my dreams right now. Playing poker, travel around the world, being your own boss. My name's Danny Seward, aka Miami Boss.
You want to call Miami Boss?
Yes, just call me Miami Boss. Just accept it. I swear to God.
I'm a big fan of Miami Boss.
You can call me Boss for short.
Who is he the boss of? I'm just curious.
The boss of the bosses. Is he really a boss? That is the question. I haven't decided yet.
Miami Boss, he's just likable, lovable guy, plays poker, parties hard.
Danny's character is very good for the poker world. He's very entertaining.
Did you get my amazing eyebrows in the picture? They're the best eyebrows in the building. Got my own swagger. Got a couple lines right here. That's how we do it, baby. Time to shine.
Full of confidence, goes out, icebreakers, girls, whatever. He's got no fear, and it's fun to watch.
Bro, I got professional Playboy on my business card. I pass that stuff out like candy. Ladies love it. Do big things down there, baby. Models and bottles, that's it. It's the name of the game. Chicks love me. Who's your favorite grandson?
No, he's my first one. He knows.
I started playing poker with like my grandparents. My grandmother, she loves poker. Like she probably plays 4 days a week, plays every hand. Can't get her to fold a hand, but she just loves it. She's just one of my favorite people in the world. So take it easy on my grandma, bro.
All in.
I call you.
No way.
Yes.
Grandma, you got him. You got him. My grandma's got quads.
The real Danny Sui is, he's just a teddy bear. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's low-key. I think the Miami Boss is a little bit of a show, and it's fun.
We're all messing around. Maybe we have little alter egos, and maybe we're just having fun. But whatever it is, he's looking good doing it, and people seem to enjoy it. So how can you hate on that? How can you hate on the Miami Boss?
Who's your hero? You, obviously. Who's your hero? You, man. Exactly.
Everybody else is worried about what everyone else thinks, but he's not. He's a boss.
Danny is a boss. He's definitely a boss.
Poker is my life. I love poker. I eat, sleep, die, I read poker every day. We play this game to enjoy life. It's just great to keep a good balance, you know? So tilted right now. Shake it up, baby. Shake it up. Work hard, play hard, and, you know, just wake up the next day and just do it all over.
Season 12 of the World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where VIP members can win their share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month. ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
The Hard Rock
It's beautiful. It like rivals any casino that you see in Las Vegas. Phil came here for a tournament last year and he loved it. He said the whole property is great and he loved the guarantee. This year I got to come out with him and I just think it's fabulous. There's lots to do here besides just poker. They have a lot of great spas and restaurants and the grounds are beautiful. And I'll probably come back to as much as I can because I really like the way they run things here.
Oh, that's the very charming, beautiful Jennifer Tilly, a big actress and a great poker player, enjoying this week.
Yeah, and she summed up right here at the Seminole Hard Rock, Vince. Players love it here, an amazing property.
Right now you see chip leader Muckle Pahuja with close to $25 million out in front. Let's go to the felt, a quick fold by Jake Baisley.
James Mackey, who's proven to be the most aggressive player at the table, going to raise again here with the King 5 offsuit. Makes it $450 to go.
Muckle out, but Eric from Montreal with a pair of sixes.
$1,050,000.
The last time he just called with 2 9s, that didn't work out. So this time he's got a pair. He is going to shoot it up to over $1 million. Let's step it up a bit here, says Eric.
Trying to push around the young buck here, Mackey.
Okay.
And it's going to work.
Win every pot against me.
The second time Eric's made a WPT final table. He is looking to take the title tonight, and Vince, he is playing like he's going for it.
Well, Mike, it is great to be back at the Seminole Hard Rock down here in sunny Florida, that's for sure. But since we last saw our viewers, the WPT has been traveling nonstop, crowning regional, national, and WPT main event champions around the globe.
Well, that's right, Vince. The World Poker Tour kicked off another regional event in Florida at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa before heading north to Montreal for a WPT national event at the Playground Poker Club in Quebec, Canada.
That's right. Then it was off to South Africa to a national event at the Emperor's Palace Hotel Casino in Johannesburg, and back to Europe for 2 more national events, one at the Merit Crystal Uve Hotel and Casino in Cyprus, and another at the Casino Marbella in Spain.
Plus, the WPT Champions Cup had 3 new names added to it. In Italy, the Casino Venezia. The third time was the charm for Andrea Dato. He took down the title and 105,000 euros for his impressive win at the WPT Venice Carnival.
And then back in the States, WPT Champions Club member and Season 5 Player of the Year, J.C. Tran, won his second title at the inaugural WPT Rolling Thunder event at the Thunder Valley Casino in Lincoln, California.
Last but not least, right here in Florida, local dentist Nabil Haretzi won the WPT Jacksonville Best Bet Open, earning over $200,000 and a coveted seat into the season-ending WPT World Championship.
Congratulations to all of our regional, national, and non-televised main event winners. And for those of you at home who have been dreaming of playing in a live WPT event, just log on to WPT.com for a complete tournament schedule. But for now, let's get back to the action here in South Florida.
Well, there you see the cash, the WPT Champions Cup, the customized monster headphones that are going to go to our champion.
All right, the blinds are up to 125, 250. A quick fold by Jake Baisley.
James Mackey going to be aggressive, though. He's going to raise on the button. Makes it $550,000 to go.
Quick fold by Muckle, but now Eric Afriet got to like his queen jack of diamonds, but just calling.
Here it comes. 10-6-3 on the flop. Mackey now out in front with 2 10s.
350.
Eric is going to lead out and bet into the pre-flop raiser, $350,000.
Try to take a shot. James too smart for that. It's going to call with the 10s. Turn is an ace of spades.
So James now makes a flush draw to go along with his 2 10s.
775.
Eric going to continue.
And he's got the gut shot straight draw.
He is fighting for this pot.
And I'll tell you, that does put pressure on Mackey. You just have 2 10s with a bad kicker and a weak flush draw. But Mackey's going to make the call.
Yeah, nice and solid. River card, 6, pairs the board, changes nothing. Will the clothier slow down? Yes. And they both check.
Queen high.
And he says queen high. Let the man muck. But no, James wanted to see it. Flip it over. That's rubbing salt in the wound there a little bit.
Nice call. I tell you, you see with what I don't re-raise you. I have the best side every time.
100% James.
People play against me differently. And that's just the way that it is. They want to bust me because I'm a girl, or they want to take it easy because I'm a girl, and that's the advantage that I have. It's a part of the game. If they want to, say, oh, she's good for a girl, that's fine. I'd rather them underestimate me any day.
I don't have anything to prove to anyone except myself. People are still going to say whatever they're going to say about my game based solely on the way that I look or the way that I act and the fact that I'm super girly. The way I stay positive, especially during tournaments, is my music. I think music connects people in a way that's very similar to poker. People from all walks of life who have nothing in common on the surface, and their love of music or the love of poker is going to put them on the same playing field immediately. It kind of knocks walls down. I wear headphones at the table to help me stay in my zone and not let anybody affect what I'm doing. So I'm in this, nobody can stop me, totally feeling myself. I'm like, yeah. I'm at the poker table and I'm dancing and people are looking at me like, what the hell, and I'm just in my groove. So when I'm like that, the energy just kind of flows, and it's just, I feel like everything can go my way. I'm Ebony Kenny, and I'm a monster at the table.
Welcome back to the record-setting $5.7 million Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. With Season 12 nearing its final lap, the WPT Player of the Year race is inching towards the finish line. And in command is Mukul Pahuja. He's putting distance from himself and the rest of the field by making his third final table of the season. Now, Mukul can clinch Player of the Year if he goes on to win tonight, but no matter where he finishes, it's going to be harder and harder to catch him. We'll keep you informed on any updates on the leaderboard, but now let's get back to the call of the game with Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten.
Thank you, Lynn. Four-handed poker continues at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown.
The chip leader, Mukul Pahuja, with about $25 million in chips. James Mackey with $14.5 million. Jake and Eric bringing up the rear.
All right, let's go to the felt. Eric Afriat, the clothier, the non-professional player, this time with an attractive ace-jack. Makes it 500 to go.
And Eric's first strike, he makes it 500,000 to call.
And behind him, Jake.
Well, been pretty much card dead at this final table so far. He's going to fold.
James Mackey with a king-8. Doesn't want any part of that. Goes out, but Mukul has picked up a little pair of fours.
Just a little over 7 to start. Thank you.
Welcome. Very polite.
What's that?
You're always this polite?
Yeah, generally.
Pretty good.
Unless I'm needling
well mannered. Can tell you come from a good family.
Little small talk at the table.
Well, he is polite, and therefore he makes a polite call.
Yeah, right, fours versus ace-jack, and the flop is a 7-6 deuce. So fours in front.
Well, it goes check on the flop.
Turn is an ace. Hallelujah for the Montreal man. He's hit aces.
Mukul has checked again, and
650.
650 now bet by Eric with the two aces.
Tough call to make.
Well, Mukul gonna make the call here, just hoping his opponent's got something like king, queen, king, jack, queen, jack, where his 2 4s are the best hand.
He's in trouble. Down to the river. Another 6 pairs the board. Mukul's gonna check.
975.
Well, 975,000 now the bet.
Now what's interesting is Mukul heard Eric on the last hand call out his money of 750. He said it verbally instead of just betting it, and he was bluffing. So maybe Mukul's thinking, you know what, when this guy calls it out, this could be a tell. He's going to make the call. It's a bad one. And Eric's going to show the winner. There you go.
So the clothier from Montreal taking down the pot against the chip leader.
Eric has a lot of fans and friends in the stadium here tonight, rooting him on. Onto this hand. Jake Baisley's pick up the weapons of mass destruction, pair of aces.
Well, Jake is loving it now. You know it's going to get raised a little bit anyway, and it does to 525,000, just over the min raise.
James with a nothing hand goes out. Mukul. Oh, he also can't play. And now Eric will give action with a jack-8 of spades.
Seemed like it.
Aces versus jack-8. What a hand. But a jack-8-4 hits on the flop, Mike.
Incredible. What a flop for Eric. He has flopped the top 2 pair. His opponent has the 2 aces. Well, Eric leads right out into the pre-flop raiser. Again, this time he's got the hand. The last couple times he's done it, he didn't have it.
1.3.
And he's going to get the action he wants with the raise. Jake makes it 1.3.
Yeah, it's the $1 million raise here, but
2.8.
this is going to be a $2.8 million bet. And now, folks, I think you're going to see all the chips go in the middle of the pot.
Well, the beautiful thing about it, Eric, looks like he has a 4 flush, something like that.
Could have a 9-10, could have a flush draw, could have just one pair. You're just not going to get away from aces here.
Impossible.
Well, I remember what Stu Unger told me about 2 aces one time. All they're good for is to win a small pot or lose a big one. That could happen to Jake right here because you just can't get away from aces. It's too tough to get away from them. Nobody's going to get away from aces there. Jake Baisley in dire straits now to stay alive.
The Cincinnati kid right now, he's in a vice. A lot of trouble. He would be out if he doesn't get lucky.
Well, Vince, he's done nothing wrong. The question is, will he get lucky now to stay alive?
And the turn card is a 9 of spades.
So Jake must catch an ace, a 9, or a 4. Otherwise, he will be our 4th place finisher.
He would be gone. Knocked out by the clothier. Stitch by stitch. Down to the river we go.
And the river card.
What's it gonna be? It's a queen of diamonds.
Well, there you have it. The basketball player, Jake Baisley, bounced out of here, bumped off the rim with the 2 aces, out in 4th place.
Yeah, 371,000 richer, a great player. Let's go talk to him.
I just wasn't getting very many hands. I could have forced some issues and picked a couple spots, but it was just a lot of tough players. You know, it's really hard to risk a lot without a lot of good holdings.
With Jake Baisley out in 4th place, who has what it takes to ride the wave to a championship title? Find out when we return on the WPT.
At Club WPT, I get to play as much poker as I like and to win a share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month, including WPT tournament entries.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Welcome back to South Florida. You're watching the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown on the WPT.
Well, former basketball player Jake Baisley just bounced from the tournament in the monster hand of the day.
Jake held the monster 2 aces and got action from Eric, but Eric was the one who flopped the monster, flopped top 2 pair, and after a series of raises, the stacks got in.
Jacob pushes all in.
With no help on the turn of the river, Eric secured the monster pot, and Baisley was sent to the showers. And now we have 3 players left.
All right now, Muckle Hoosiers, the chip leader with close to 24 million. Eric Afriat, the clothier from Montreal, has about 18, and James Mackey in 3rd chip position with around 12.
Well, we had the all-time WPT record field in this tournament, 1,795 players. We were down to these 3.
To the felt we go. Eric with the button with just a Jack 3.
675.
He's going to take a shot at this with a nothing hand, 675 to go.
And this is his 2nd WPT final table. Last time he was here, he finished 6th. Tonight he said he's going for it, doesn't care. Raises with junk here.
James out. Muckle, though, with ace-5 will make this call. Here come the first 3.
Flop is king of diamonds. 5.
King 8-5 rainbow.
Muckle picking up 5s there is going to check.
Yeah, he's got the bottom pair.
Eric checks.
Eric checks right behind him. A little surprised he wouldn't make a continuation bet there. Now a king comes off to pair the board. And again, Muckle checks.
1 million.
And all of a sudden, Eric's going to get busy here. And really busy with a $1 million bet. Now, if you're sitting in Muckle's seat, you're saying, wouldn't this guy bet a pair, any kind of pair on the flop? I think he would have, so I'm going to call him with my bottom pair.
Well, his instincts are right so far. He's making this call. Going down to the river, and it's another king.
King of clubs.
Muckle's got to like that card.
Well, Muckle's got a full house, but it's bottom full house. And look at this. He's going to make a defensive bet, it would say a blocker bet of $400,000 here into a pot that's got over $3.5 million in it. If you're sitting in Eric's seat, you're saying, you know this guy doesn't have much. Doesn't want me to bet at him.
2.4.
Wow.
So I am going to bet at him. $2 million more. $2.4 million now the bet.